Oh, what's going on, guys? This is the Cloud9 Podcast, Season 6, Episode 13, actually. I'm pretty sure I don't have my headset in right. Give me literally 1 second. So let me turn on my headset as well. That way the audio isn't coming through just my speakers. It would come through this. It's way better to have, audio come through this than that, because if you guys have, ever known to live in the city, then you hear cars like that. You would hear a car like that just pass through if my audio was out of my speakers. But yes, tonight we are going to be doing the LCS 2023 Spring Split Team Tier List, talking about just all things LCS. And then next week, we are going to have an episode just doing kind of like a 2022 wrap-up kind of episode. And then after that, there's going to be no more Cloud9 podcast episodes, because there's going to be just literally nothing to talk about, because, well, the season's over, Worlds is done, the actual competitive season doesn't start until like mid-January, usually the seasons start for the LPL, the LCK, the LEC, and the LCS, usually mid-January. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with, obviously, right now. But we did have some news kind of pop off. Like, browsing Reddit is extremely disgusting, But there were some videos that I actually plan on doing for you guys, because I've talked about this before, which is essentially getting to a point where, putting out consistent content is something I want to do for you guys. That is kind of a major thing I want to do for you guys going forward. And a brand new series is actually going to be announced on my channel update video. So I have one more news video to post that I'm going to be giving out to you guys literally, later on tomorrow. That way I can, give you guys some content tomorrow. Then after that, I'm going to do my channel update video. And then after that, I'm going to, doing my response videos. There's a few people that made videos that I kind of want to just, like, obviously commentate over, because as you guys know, I've been getting very much bigger into the whole like commentary-esque space, right? It's pretty volatile, all things considered, because people think you hate them if you just have a different opinion, compared to theirs, which is not totally fine, because that means you're just a big fat pussy, but it's okay. It's what it is, right? It's just how it works, right? So with that, that concludes just the little update portion section of the video. There's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos right there I have for you guys. I'll probably scale back that to just a few of these, so I'm gonna have a whole list of them to do. I'll probably do like response videos potentially, not to like all the roster announcements, that these orgs made, but a few of them potentially. There's a lot on the table to actually, talk about, because the LCS might look a bit spicier for 2023. I know a lot of people have been kind of talking about that, for like the past like 3 to 4 years, that each season is going to get better for the LCS. In reality, it really hasn't, but you got to be optimistic when it comes to this stuff. I hope a lot of it gets better. I think bottom tier teams have also kind of somehow leveled up a little bit. A few of them have leveled up, but when it comes to like the other teams, I'm just not too sure how they're really actually going to prepare, or do, because like you see videos from like, IMT, and, the guy admits like, I don't really have a big budget, obviously, so what kind of plan do you have? Well, you have to build out an infrastructure first and keep a long standing infrastructure. And I think that's what a lot of these like LCS orgs really lack, is a long standing infrastructure, because in traditional sports you do have long standing infrastructures that work for a very, very, very long time. And yeah, at some points people leave. That's going to happen. At some points a lot of people leave, but you need that long infrastructure. And I think the teams that have had somewhat of that have seen success, actually. But that's not really a big thing, for the LCS overall, right? So I'm going to also go to the poll on the channel, because now YouTube unlocked the ability to obviously do the community tab, and then having that, you actually have the ability to create polls now, which is good, because channels that are decently small like this one need that to interact with you guys. And I liked how YouTube made that a thing. But yes, Chaz is going to be here, and we are going to end up ranking the teams. I know you guys liked the episode last week, so I'm gonna end up just doing that for you guys. This week we're gonna obviously watch some of the videos, or even the Cloud9 podcast. Literally, just could be me going over those videos for you guys instead of just doing them all separately. I could just do them all in like live stream form. That's something that I am considering. That is something that I am personally considering. But most likely I'll just do them pre-recorded. Like we've been doing Cloud9 Podcast for I don't know how long, like a while now at this point. So after next week, I'm taking a break for a little bit, and my break is just gonna ensue just pre-recorded videos. What's up, you piece of shit?
Yeah, fuck you too, bitch.
Trying to go outside and fight, motherfucker? Trying to throw hands? All right, give me a second, everyone.
Yep.
Let me create the poll. If there are people that watch, make sure you hit the like button, smash the like button. Obviously, get to 10 likes when more people start trickling in. It's gonna be a long episode. I'm gonna try and get through most of it. This is a lot to do. God.
Oh hell yeah!
Smash the like button. Let's get to a stream like this. Only needs like 5 likes. Our minimum like goal for these streams now is just gonna be 5 likes. That's it. Hell yeah! I'm doing 100 Thieves suck. It's gonna be oh god. There you go. All right.
LCS sucks.
LCS. I don't know, man. People think it's gonna be a lot better coming into 2023. I gotta be optimistic. People have told me that shit literally ever since I started watching this fucking league. Literally ever since. I mean, I have been watching LCS for, when it comes to 2023, 8 years. It'll be 8 years since I've been watching this shit, and every year it's been told to me it's gonna get better. You know how that shit James kept saying? But these wildcard teams are gonna be way better. That's been said to me for 8 fucking years. I don't want to hear that shit anymore. Fuck that. Literally, either get better or just shut the fuck up. I'm sick of hearing that. You really, Australia's getting better. That has not happened ever. Bronzill's gonna get better. Hell no.
Brazil will be better than Australia.
Is that saying a lot? You know how like NA and EU have the little rivalry, right? Between NA and EU. Brazil and Turkey have a rivalry for wildcard teams. It's so pathetic because Brazil has almost never beaten Turkey. They've beaten them like once. Sometimes. This is sometimes.
That's a rivalry.
They suck so bad that Turkey and Brazil are like rivals, but they're not good. That's a rivalry for like the WNBA. That doesn't even count, really. That rivalry is fucking trash. All right, let's trickle in for a second. So yeah, that's just all the updates I have for you guys. Chaz said he's going to help me out with some league content coming to this year. I'm going to be going all out with league content this year. We're going to be doing it. I told Chaz, going to have to get a little bit more acclimated with the other regions. This man literally works like late at night sometimes. So, I mean, the LCK is going to be going on late. Literally, dude, like the LPL and the LCK will be going on late anyway.
No, I get off and the LCK is just starting. And that's good for me.
Yes, it's weird. Yeah, because when you start the LCK, I can only watch like one BO3. Maybe I'm watching the first BO3 and then I pass out.
I'm trying to see.
Because I gotta go to bed. Usually when the LCK premieres, I gotta go to bed.
The LCK starts about 2 in the morning. Yeah, no, I can watch the whole thing. Cause this is my thing. If I don't take another job right now and I just do the insurance, I could possibly watch the LCK and LPL. Because it's like, do I take the interview tomorrow? It's like, part of me wants to, part of me is like, nah.
I think you need some time off for a bit. I think, will the offer still be on the table if you don't take
I don't even want to really take this offer. The issue is,
I would say take the extra time off. I mean,
the issue is this job called a little too fast. I think they're too desperate for somebody. Really? I'm like, that never seemed well.
That boss is an asshole. That boss is faking that shit.
No,
that's not really that person.
It's a full-time job, but it's temporary until the old cooks come back. And I'm like, okay, that's me. I know I'm only there for at least 3 months. That's me. It's Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. I'm like, morning cooks.
That's so bad. That sucked. Because before that, man, imagine being such a shit wildcard region that you cling to beating another shitty wildcard region. So bad, man. Oh my god. And Turkey will always have been better than Brazil internationally because there was a time for the play-ins that a Turkish team knocked out Mad Lions. And Turkey also has done stuff. Not done stuff internationally. They've had some upsets. They've had some upsets. That's the best way you can really put it. Brazil, they've had like BO1 upsets, but one of their BO1 upsets was like INTZ beating like EDG back when EDG had Deft, and it didn't matter because that was the first week of the group stage. So EDG just obviously just beat them every single time after that. And then there was a time where they had a team called Kaboom where they beat Alliance, and that helped Cloud9 get out of that group, right? That was an upset. Like the first one they did was a legit upset. The second time, it didn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you beat EDG in week 1 because EDG was going to be better week 2. That's another whole shitty group that I don't want to talk about. But so I finally got some of the answers because sadly, guys, there was a night where I was like, you know what? I want to look at some hot girls, So I went and started watching Lena's Twitch stream, actually.
Yeah.
So I finally got some of the answers I was looking for because none of it ever made any sense. Now, remember, guys, she was the president of TSM, so I'd imagine that.
Oh, she was. She no longer is.
Yeah, she works for what, Sentinels now, right? She said.
Oh, I have no idea.
So I got some of the answers. So the reason why a lot of these teams made league-specific YouTube channels was because YouTube at the time was promoting you to have a second channel. I love how the platform was talking about, like, they don't want creators to be burnt out, so they obviously promote second channels more. I don't know. I'm not... I don't know how this fucking works sometimes,
Yeah, it don't make sense sometimes. It's just
they're like, yeah, we don't want our creators to be burned out. We want them to have a great flourishing, platform that we don't have to feel burned out. No, fuck off. That fucking bitch at one time. Oh my god. Okay, so that's the reason why you saw people started doing clip channels, right?
Yeah.
So you would just make content for streams and you clip it out and you put it on your YouTube channel. I'm still debating on if I'm going to be doing that coming into 2023. Most likely not, because I just don't have the time to edit all that shit. But factor in, I can do it. I've did it before. You have to edit this stuff, guys. And when you get done with one of these streams, yeah, you can download them, but that also takes time. It's a process you go through. I don't have editing teams. This is just fucking me. Tom, Dick, and Harry, motherfucker here. This is just me. I'm doing this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people are like, well, just clip your shit out. You want to do it for me? Because I don't have the time for that. I really don't, because literally, stream's over. After that, I go do other stuff, and then you download it. That takes time to download. You ain't got to edit it. You ain't got to clip the parts out. You ain't got to put the intro, the outro. It renders, and you got to throw it up on YouTube. You got to put a thumbnail on it. It's a whole process that is, honestly, it's worth it if you really want to go through that process and grind it out. But for me personally, that's just not something I can do right now. Yeah. Maybe when I get some more free time, which is probably not possible. Maybe we'll see how it goes. But the reason why you saw a lot of these teams make LoL specific YouTube channels was because, of YouTube itself promoting second channels more, right? Having like clip channels and other just secondary channels in general. So these orgs made secondary league channels. Now, the reason why the content hasn't been so good is, well, she said they don't really have a good content strategy to begin with. That's the reason why the content seems to have been lacking. Because, like I've always said, why don't just, for Cloud9, why not just have everything on one Cloud9 channel? Like you look at TSM. TSM really doesn't have that many other channels outside of the main TSM one. They don't have like a TSM League of Legends channel. I never liked that to begin with. I was never a fan of that. They have channels for Apex and Rainbow Six Siege. They do, but that's it. You don't have too many. Like, you don't have all these different channels, because having all these different channels is more like you're diluting you're splitting every single fan base, but you want to get the biggest fan base for each one. Like, I get the idea behind it, but honestly, I don't think it was ever going to be the way that these guys were thinking about. They're just trying to like monetize their content differently, which is fine. But I don't know. I don't think it's ever actually worked out well at all. I'm just being honest here. Because then you don't upload on your main big channel, though. Because like the Cloud9 main YouTube channel, I haven't seen them upload a video there in months, actually. Like, what are they even using the main channel for? Do you use the main channel as a launching pad for the second channels? Because they haven't did that at all.
More or less, I believe.
Yeah, because they haven't used the main channel in like how many months? If you go and look at their actual stuff on there, let me see. I want to show you guys an example. She also said, I mean, this might be not true. I don't know. She said some of the LCS teams bought followers on their secondary channels, or some of their channels, actually. That would be sad and pathetic if they did that. That's pretty pathetic if you actually did that, though. Yeah, right. Oh, that's what they did to the channel. That's what they did. Oh, Lord. Like, I don't see why they don't utilize a channel like this. Teams are always complaining about fucking money and shit. Are you telling me that they can't, like, use this shit? This channel's got 440K subscribers. I'll say right now, if I had a 440K subscriber channel, you best believe I'm using that shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
They just turned everything into playlist. That's it.
I think that's smart in a sense. Instead of making separate channels.
Yeah, literally doing this idea is fine. Like, why do all these other separate channels? So they have CSGO, which is they're kind of big in. Valorant is big. Halo is big. But why not have all this on one channel, though, and have it all sectioned out differently? So that way, if someone goes, I want to see Valorant stuff, it's right here. Well, I want to see League stuff, it's right here. I want to see Halo stuff, it's right here. I don't think creating a second YouTube channel for all this stuff is really worth it. Like, do they really do Fortnite content like that? Like, is this really needed for a channel? They haven't uploaded here in a year. When was the last time they actually put a video on the channel? A literal year ago.
It's probably a little more over a year.
Yeah, because YouTube's time structure with how that works is wonky too, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the Valorant channel's cool. I watch the Valorant stuff. I like playing Valorant now too. I do.
But Valorant, they upload more because Valorant is an actual competitive game. Fortnite is like, we're competitive if we feel like it.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. It's like
a lot of these esports don't have the same like infrastructure that Riot emphasizes on their game, you know? Because the only ones that have it are like Dota, Apex, Rainbow Six Siege has it, CSGO still has it. Like, all these other ones, like, is Halo going to be something a lot of people are going to be that interested in for a second channel? Like, I love the graphic on this too. But is this really something you need a whole secondary YouTube channel dedicated to? Like, I love Cloud9, guys. You guys know me. I love Cloud9, but holy shit. Some of these content ideas, these decisions have been, like, really bad. Why not use your main channel? What the fuck are you doing? Use the main one. God, there's a way bigger reach. I guarantee you more people have this in their subscription box than they do that this Halo channel. I guarantee you that. Do they make consistent clips for the people that they have on their content team? Do they make consistent clips? No, they don't. They don't even make consistent clips on our clip channel.
See, go back. See, I'm gonna tell you why they stopped doing it. Look at.
Gotcha. Give me one sec.
Look at the dip of in viewers, and a lot of times channels do this. Look, they went from 2K to 2094 to 40 to 1.5 and 94, and then that was the last one. Sometimes they literally just drop the fuck off too, and that's the bad thing about it, because what they'll do is they'll look at it like, okay, why is this clip blowing up? Why is this clip not blowing up? You gotta look at, okay, what's the actual video? Because drama sells. Like,
right, and then you had this one where they try to have they put their Twitch streams on here. This was going for a little bit.
This was good, and then it was here, and then it's just like
it's just gone.
Like, it was like, the issue is, it's like a lot of times it's like it works. It's like, boom, that's.
And I don't want to be one of those guys where I would be like, just because you can't delete this shit. Because they would have to, because in order to delete these channels, you would have to like download all the videos, put them out on your own. They got themselves into just a content mess. That's just all it is. They're in not a content rut. They still get views. Just depends on where your views are allocated at. You know, like clips. Like who's that interested in Cloud9 clips? Who's interested in that stuff? Like I think people also overrate clip channels too. Like they're nothing more than just pieces of content from the source. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all it is. I think clip channels are just really overrated, honestly. Like this is for their Overwatch team, London Spitfire. How much do they make content for this YouTube channel? Oh man, why am I not even surprised actually? But they're not that interested in Valorant. They're already
back.
Sorry.
No, you good. Because it's like they got 30K viewers. That's not a problem. But like a lot of times channels, they'll just stop if they look at, because they'll look at how many viewers how many views they get to how many subscribers they got. And sometimes people will just stop. It's like, oh, the viewers should be higher. It's like, if you constantly post a video every day, you get 1,000 views, that starts building up. That's why there's some channels on YouTube that, like, every time you turn around, they're like, oh, I'm gonna stop this series because no one's watching it, but it gets it gets 50,000 views, but but this one, their channel has 130,000 subscribers. Oh, the video should have 100,000 views. I'm like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, because a lot of people that talk like that, they don't even understand how that works. Though you're never gonna get 100% of your viewer base to watch everything you do. That's most things in general, though.
They want at least 7. It's like 70 is hard because what it is.
Yeah, 50 is hard. That's half. That's half of the people.
The issue is you got the issue.
You know what's actually funny? You get most of your viewership actually from outside sources, not even people that are subscribed to you. That I've actually looked into. You actually get more viewers from not people subscribed to you than people that are subscribed to you. So when people say, "Oh, I'm quitting this series because it doesn't get a lot of views," you have to also assess their subscribers, viewership, what's an app, because everyone's average is different. My averages are a lot different from other people's, and I understand that too. And I get it, but it's like you can't expect your entire viewership base to watch everything you do, because that's not how people are. Not everyone is going to be interested in every single thing that you do. That's just life in general. Like, that's why when you start a new series, it's always kind of a thing where people go, I don't know. That's why you don't see a lot of YouTubers start new series. You just don't, because they're worried that no one's going to watch. That's just the risk you take, though. I mean, I don't know. It's one of these things. It's not as this big grand thing like a lot of these content creators make out. It's really simple shit when you really break it down. But it's just, this is their career, so I can understand it. But then I also don't, because if you got 50,000 people watching a video, man, if I had 50,000 people watching all my videos, I could quit my job right now. And I just
hell yeah. Shit.
Like if I knew I had 50,000 viewers,
if I knew each video I put up, shit, fucking 2 weeks notice, you get a 48 hours notice. Like, oh, okay, did you put up the schedule? No? All right, cool. Today's my last day. Suck my dick. Like, I'm not coming back to work.
Yeah, like if I had a channel, because they said to live off YouTube maybe full time, you need 100K. Let's say if I had
100K subscribers, or
100K subscribers on average. That's also depending on your viewership too.
Okay.
I mean, like let's say I had like 10,000 subscribers, and each of my videos, not even you guys watching them, I just got literally 30K views on a video. You think I would work on my job? And if I knew I could on average get a consistent 30K, yeah, I'm literally just gonna quit my job.
If I knew each video, like, say if
I'm not talking about maxing out. I'm talking like your average base is like
30K. Like, it's like Peace. To me, it'd be 25. If I knew each video could make, if my average viewer views on a video is 25K, like, I'm literally typing up a letter, printing it out, putting it in an envelope, going to both my jobs, but not at the same time. I'm going to the security job first, like 2 weeks, or not even 2 weeks. I effective immediately. I'm literally I'm handing my uniform to them, suck my dick. Restaurant, I'm like, have you put out the schedule yet? All right, cool. At the end of the second schedule, because they put out the schedule 2 weeks in advance. At the end of the second schedule, do not put me on. That Friday, yeah, that's my last day. Boom, I'm not coming back in. Like,
even I know people don't like this guy from our YuGiOh content creator space, DZ. He quit his job. Right when he did that Why Nobody Plays Chaos Max Dragon video that popped off for him, and he started doing the Why Nobody X Plays Bad Card thing, and those videos were on average getting like 60,000 views. The base minimum of those videos were like 20K. He quit his job. That's a lot of money. You guys gotta understand. That's a lot of money you get actually for those videos. It's just consistently doing it. Now, then again, the only rut you get in is that if you have to make sure your videos pop off like that. But then again, the amount of subscribers you're gonna get from those type of videos alone is gonna also make up the difference. So if your average video gets 20K views, YouTube recommends those videos. Your watch time is gonna cover all that. You're gonna get new subs just off in general because people just like videos like that. Yep. They subscribe. It's 20,000 views. Oh my video doesn't hit 100,000 views, so I gotta quit. Oh no. Fuck off.
First of all, like, and I remember, and like, I don't want to see the YouTuber's name, but you know who I'm talking about. He's the one. I told you he's one of the people I watch videos. He's like, oh yeah, this video only got this amount of likes. I'm in the chat. No, I'm on the Discord. Like, nigga, if my video got that many likes, I'm telling the boss to suck my dick tomorrow. Like, with my dick out. Like, I'm not coming back to work. I'm not. Like, what? If I knew I could get at least half of what you want on a consistent basis, 5 days a week. Oh, come on, son. I'm gone. I'm going tomorrow. Plus, I can start selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards more consistently and go to local. Come on, son. Come on, son. The fuck?
But like, I don't want to say this, but it does kind of sound like some people are just literally entitled pieces of shit.
Well,
that's how it comes off.
I think it's partly entitled, but I think what it is they look at how many people are sub to them, and they think they have to hit that number each time. Like, if it was like that, like, but then again, some of my videos go over the amount of like subs I have, but it's like, dude, I got a low amount of subs, but the thing is this. That doesn't always happen. It's also how much do people actually want to watch your video. It's like sometimes you might have a cool personality, but the shit you're talking about is like, it's 50-50. It's like, I know market watches and hit or miss videos are where it's at, and discussion videos to a certain degree. It's like, and you just have to realize it's the same thing with League. It's like you cannot get stuck on, oh, this video only got 1,000 views. It's like if you put out 3 videos a day, 7 days a week, and you do it with the last video and the new video are 12 hours apart, YouTube won't like suppress you because you will always have 3 videos within a 24-hour span, and you're good. Like, as long as you do it that way. It's like, I just wish people would not get so discouraged because they don't have a knockout, of a video all the time. Sometimes you don't get that. Sometimes you get a nice consistent flow where it's like, if you make 21 videos a month and the views total out $8,000 to $10,000 a month, the fuck? You tell me if I can make $8,000 a month of just doing YouTube, suck my dick, I'm going tomorrow. What? I'm shit. Matter of fact, I might not even go back to work. I might just stop going to work altogether. I might just be gone. It's like, and that's the biggest thing. Do not get discouraged that you don't have this high number of viewers, or either way.
What you also have to factor in for anyone who's watching is the goal isn't to always have a video always peak out in viewers. Was not really always going to happen. Your goal is to make sure a good amount of those new viewers that watch you subscribe, because if you get all those subscribers, those are new people that you're going to have watch your videos in general. So you have to average out getting people that are just watching that video to subscribe. Then you're going to have a bigger base, so you could just make random videos that could just pop off. Like Geekdom 101, he makes random videos about Dragon Ball Z. His subscriber base is so huge, the average video will peak at like probably 30,000 views. That's average. Yeah, that's good. That's what you need. You need your average to be solid, and you need your highest to be peaking out at whatever number you think. But if a motherfucker is complaining about 50,000 views, you can just suck my fat cock. Just shut the fuck up. 50,000 views. Eat my pussy.
Like, it's understandable, but you have to realize that a lot of times, like, you might complain about 50,000 views, but then there's someone who wishes they could get that, and then because like
it's such first world problems though. I need 50,000 views on a bitch.
Because to me, I tell you right now, if whatever amount of view equates to me making $6,000 a month, with all the ads and that, shit, I'm going tomorrow. Like I'm not even gonna put a 2 weeks notice. I'm just gonna stop showing up. nigga, what's $500 to 6,000? Suck my dick, man.
$500 to 6,000. Damn, holy shit.
Like $5,000. $500 a week or $6,000 a month. Like,
all right, let's go to the tier list. I know you guys here for the tier list. Don't worry, I got you guys. This was the one we used, I think last year. So. It has everything still saved. A lot more different rankings of last year because different teams all obviously at the beginning part of this year. So let's do. All right, this tier is dog shit. Dog shit. This is the tier right there. This is gonna be Dale, right? It's double L apostrophe. They'll do okay. Yeah, it's gonna be like they'll do okay. Right? I think that's where I put it, right?
LCS playoffs.
Almost playoffs. That's what we probably do. Almost
playoffs.
Playoffs. Fuck is with these, man?
I think almost playoffs.
Yeah.
Low seed, high seed.
Yeah. Low seed, high seed.
No, I'm saying high seed be A.
High seed be A. Okay.
Or matter of fact, you could
Dogs. Hold on, give me 1 sec. Am I on the right bar? There we go.
Dog shit, low seed, high seed.
I forgot. This one doesn't let me do the words the way I want to.
Okay.
This will be like, we'll do good.
And
but I don't want to call any LCS team great. That sounds
top tier. Like pretty much they'll be the top of the LCS. Yeah, amazing. Yep.
Okay. So all right, now let me pull up the rosters because I think Wulu had them. This is gonna be so. I'll say this for the LCS moving forward. I hope things get better in terms of everything, in terms of viewership, in terms of players who want to play in the league. But you got to be optimistic about this shit. I know Freak retired, guys. We'll talk about that later on in the show. That fucking bastard's gone. That's crazy. People are going with these full Korean coaching staffs. Man, hope this shit works out. I mean, because if it doesn't, that's not good. Here are the LCS rosters right here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to save the big dogs for later. So we're going to save your EGs, your Cloud9s, your TLs, your 100 These guys are going to be like toward the very end. The big dogs are here. You guys can't see EG right here. I know it's dark. This is EG right there.
What the fuck?
Dignitas, FlyQuest, TSM,
Immortal, CLG,
and Golden Guardians. So we'll start with
FlyQuest.
Golden Guardians.
No, okay. Let's go from who was last year all the way to Cloud9. Because Cloud9 won. Let's start from that way.
Who got last place? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Dignitas who got last place.
It was either
Dig or IMT. I got last place.
Yeah, one of them two.
All right,
Golden Guardians was like 8th or 7th.
Imagine getting 5 out of 14 wins.
Yeah, all I know, them motherfuckers had like 4 or 5 wins.
Bring it up right here. Have it right here for us. That's
Dignitas.
That is borderline pathetic.
TSM got in with 6 wins.
Yeah, I love how people went. I love how the LCS structure for summer is like, 8 teams make playoffs, and you have to win now BO5s, but you could barely win 3 games in an 18-round robin. Yeah, 8 teams. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was 8 teams, but it's like they
can barely win 4 games in a regular season, but now you have to win 3 games in 1 session each time.
They could have done it with 6 because they could have done it with 6. You give 1 or 2 the bye, and then you go 3. You go Team Liquid versus FlyQuest. You go CLG versus Cloud9, and then whoever wins out of those. Yeah. Because to me, I don't like the double elimination only because it kind of waters down how the playoffs are. I feel like, in my opinion, you should do it like how where it just is.
They had that before.
To me, it should be best of. It should be best of. Is it best of 3 or best of 5s?
It's BO5s and playoffs, but they had the single elimination.
I like the single elimination better because what it does is it's like EG gets the whole field advantage or whatever. They always get to pick which side they're on, or like when they win their game. 100 Cs is next. All right, cool.
So do you value upsets happening?
I do value upsets happening. But I think with the double elimination, it kind of takes away a little bit of the buzz because it's like, okay, I do understand it. But
you get to see more games from these teams, and a lot of people do want to see more games because imagine if let's say if Fly's taking on Team Liquid, if FlyQuest beat Team Liquid, like from just this past split, right? Is FlyQuest better than Team Liquid though?
No, but they in a best of 5, anything can happen. It's like
it's true. Yeah.
Like I do understand it because it could be FlyQuest beats Team Liquid. Team Liquid
is out. They're done. That's it.
And then Team Liquid goes into the bottom bracket. It goes Team Liquid versus CLG. All right, cool. Whoever faces comes back in, and they face the winner of FlyQuest Cloud9, or they face the loser of that.
Dude, I'll be honest here. Even when you have lower brackets, because I know the concerns you brought up were the previous concerns with the format. To be fair, in a lot of these lower brackets, the lower tier teams are about as good as you always think. There's really never to me, been a lower tier team that's ever been that good to win a title.
To me, the difference between FlyQuest and Cloud9, last year they both had the same record. I think Cloud9 was ramping up while FlyQuest hit his peak. Was it beat 100 Seas in that upset game? FlyQuest never had didn't get any better after that.
They blew all their load in a BO1 regular season game. That's some shit.
They were winning games, but I think what it was is it was one of those where it's they were winning, but they weren't convincing. Well, the season was the only one that was convincing because they kind of played down to the to the competition. Team Liquid to me was the biggest choke in my opinion.
No, for sure. Yeah. Imagine the big roster that they built. Super team. Guys, I even did I forgot it in my head. So back in the day, we used to have third place matches. So the equivalent of a third place match is what EG and TL played when Danny got that pentakill. That's a third place match essentially. But it's a third place match that matters in terms of going from the lower bracket into the finals. Yeah. For the World qualification, that's essentially a third place match for who qualifies as the third seed for World. So they lost in third place matches. They didn't even make finals. They actually lost in third place matches.
Yeah.
It's actually even more worse when you think about it, which is crazy. Let's go to, let's start with what Chad said. Let's do Dignitas, actually. Dignitas's new roster is Armut, Santorin, Jensen, Spawn, and Ignar. Okay, so Ignar did not play good on IMT, like at all. He played like shit.
Yeah, no, he was kind of horrible from the game I saw. He
turbo sprinted it. Man was doing what that Blitzcrank did last night.
Please don't talk about that. Oh, that motherfucker! It was like every time we had him fucking say on your Blitzcrank, let me do this. Motherfucker just run and just.
He literally just every time he spawned, snowball and hook, die. That's his plan. It's horrible.
What's that game before when I was playing? Oh, no, was that the one I was playing Tarek or was that?
I was when playing Jarvan.
Yeah, no. What's the one I was playing Tarek and who was that fucker?
Malphite, right?
Malphite. Oh my god, it was just Malphite.
He would ult after you would, and that doesn't mean anything at that point.
No, or the last time he would ult right as I was trying to heal. I was like, no, do not ult. Fuck. And there's one time he just let us die. He literally just let us all die, and then he ulted. I'm like,
there was that game where you played Jarvan. You did the Cataclysm, and Shyvana went in, and then I Zeri W'd into the wall. That was how you do those combos. That Blitzcrank was smoking some crack.
That Blitzcrank was on the other side. Oh my god.
That was straight up playing for the enemy team. Holy shit.
Oh,
so you had Ignar, who I think played pretty bad on IMT. Now the thing here is he was paired with Lost, who was the worst ADC in the league, and I'm glad Lost doesn't have any team anymore. Why Cloud9 picked up this guy for their academy team, knowing that they're not going to play this guy in their main roster is ridiculous. But Ignar,
you just have somebody back up just in case.
Ignar played pretty bad. I mean, I still have hope that he's going to be a decent support. Like if he can play at his relative peak, he's arguably a top 4 support. Spawn came in so late to the season because Dignitas were having so many roster changes. It was so bad. He literally played like a few decent games on Jinx, but there was nothing special. Jensen did not have a great regular season. He ramped up in the playoffs, and even ramping up in the playoffs, and I love Jensen, guys, he didn't really play that well. He played okay. He never played to that extent that Cloud9 brought him back for when he was in his heyday on Cloud9. Santorin arguably was the best player on Team Liquid outside of Hansama in various series. I think Santorin played great. I think they should have kept Santorin, but they want to do their whole full Korean roster. I think Santorin was arguably
I think they would have kept him.
I
think they would have kept him. But I think it kind of came down to Core JJ, and Core JJ had the power.
You saw the videos where they were not seeing the game eye to eye. Actually,
yeah, Santorin, Bjergsen, who else?
Whipple and Hansama.
Whipple and Hansama was automatically gone. He and Core JJ, I don't know what issue they had. They never clicked. Whipple, I think he was just a casualty of someone who everybody got along with, but he was just a casualty of somebody that gets thrown on the bus. It's not gonna be Bjergsen. It's not gonna be Santorin. It was Whipple. He got completely thrown on the bus, even though when the minute they left, he was gone within 48 hours. That's how much they knew they wasn't keeping him.
Yeah, because the thing is, Han Sama was really kind of never supposed to be here, because you know how G2 was criticized for like fucking selling players to not bigger rivals. That's the thing people don't understand, and I can tie this point through. You don't. If I have a good player, and let's say I'm the Lakers and Chaz is the Celtics, let's say we're just pretending this is league. Let's say I have fucking Faker, and Faker kind of wants to leave. Why would I sell Faker to Chaz, and that's my biggest rival?
The Lakers would never sell players to 4 teams.
Right,
even ever. It was Golden State unless they had to. Boston was a never. You have to sign. You have to leave the team inside San Antonio.
Yeah.
And Houston.
So when Han Sama popped off at Worlds 2021, Rogue didn't sell Han Sama to another EU team. Han Sama was supposed to go to G2 earlier this year. That's what it was linked to. But G2 knew they weren't going to get Han Sama, so they went with Flackett and Targamas. So Rogue did the same thing that G2 did, that G2 gets criticized for, but it's okay because Rogue did it, right? Oh, fucking hypocritical fucks out there. Arma did not play well on Mad Lions all year. He literally, and people saw, if you just saw Arma at Worlds when he was playing Mordekaiser in those games, remember he played Mordekaiser in all those games? That's who he was. He wasn't anything different. That's who he was the whole season. That's who he was. He was pretty bad. Now I know why people are hyped for this team. I think this is a better roster than they had before. I think there's a lot of improvements here. I think they're going to be competing with the likes of TSM and the likes of FlyQuest for, don't take us offensive, guys, might be about 5th to 4th. I think it's going to be a really competitive split, honestly. And it's not a knock on Dignitas. It's not personally, but I think that they're going to be competing with the likes of these guys right here. And also, remember, CLG keeps the same roster, so they might also hit the ground running because they have the same players. They're not going to go through maybe huge synergy issues that other teams with new players have to go through, you know?
Yep.
So where are you going to place Dig? I think Dig are going to do...
I think they're going to do okay. I think if they make it in the playoffs, it's going to be 6 seed.
Yeah, I think Dig will make it in either as a 4th seed or a 6th seed, because if Jensen can play as well as he used to, I think they'll do very well, but you can't always bank on that. I mean, and judging from this year, it's looking like he's going to be the same thing as Bjergsen for a little bit, which is also average to a certain extent. So, Dig will be okay. Let's go to IMT. Oh, great. Immortals. Great. Immortals. Revenge, Kenvi, Ablaze, Olive Tactical, and Flesh Eye.
Flesh Eye.
Revenge was the worst top laner in the league. He had 2 good games the entire year. Not even in a concession of 2 weeks. The entire year. From one split to another. When you guys saw that set and that Camille game from him, yeah, those were his only good games.
Yep.
He is trash.
Weren't those against
also bottom tier teams?
Yeah. I was like, one of them was against Dignitas, right?
Yeah, that doesn't already count.
I was like, okay, all right, that's good. But then I started looking at the teams. I'm like, this one, I was like, okay, this might be one of those. I'm good against bad teams, but against good teams, I'm ass. So like, oh shit, that's not good.
Oh, goodness gracious, because it's Kenvi. You know how people were like hyping up Kenvi because people like to hype up academy prospects and shit.
Yeah.
Guys, you have to look at a lot of what makes a player good in league. Is it them doing it themselves, or is it the people around him that's doing good? Because remember, Kenvi was on 100 Thieves Academy, and we know 100 Thieves Academy, they like to put a lot of good people around their players are bringing up. So was it him playing really good and just being based on what he's doing, or is it based off the team around him and the coaching staff, right? Because when he was playing by himself, when we saw I'm talking about just his gameplay alone. His gameplay was atrocious. It looked like he had no idea what he was doing on the map at all.
Exactly.
Those Lee Sin games were some bottom tier shit right there. That was trash.
Because I just viewed him. I'm sitting there. I'm not like.
Is this the guy that everyone's hyping up? This is the guy that everyone's hyping up. He's not good. That's how sad our league is. Hyping up bottom of the barrel players like that. What's pathetic? Oh Lord. Ablaze Olive, I think actually had a good year. I think he had a great year. Overall, he was at least arguably top 4. I think he massively stepped up this year. Can he keep that same form coming into this year? It's always a question you got to ask yourself. Yeah. He's going to have to if this team wants to do anything in the league. Let's be honest here. IMT aren't doing anything in the league. that's not going to happen. Like, I could see a world where IMT start like 3-0, and the people go like, yeah, IMT is going to make the finals. Weeks pass. Oh, IMT's 9th. Man, who could have thought that? It's like, what? Yeah, because why would they not be 9th? Because it's IMT. Tactical was on TSM. A lot of issues with Tactical for TSM. His positioning was so bad. He definitely didn't have a great year himself. I think this is just so Tactical can stay in the league. I think Tactical will end up bouncing around these bottom tier teams because I think he had a shot on the bigger orgs like Team Liquid and TSM, and I just don't think he's gonna be that good of an ADC. He is like a middle of the pack ADC. Just being honest, that's all he really is. What about you, man? What do you think about IMT?
I think IMT is gonna be. I've seen a few tactical games. I think TSM as a whole last year they underachieved so bad, and but the issue is like because their record they were 6-12 and got to the fucking playoff only because
the teams below them are just that much worse.
Plus the LCS wanted to do like the top 8 teams in playoffs. It's like
summer is 8 teams and in spring it's just 6.
I think LCS need to do 6 for both.
Right. That's what I want. I like because they used to do that though. They used to do that, but they were like, we gotta make more playoff spots because sponsors like when the teams.
I'd rather them do top 6 teams and do double eliminations because you might as well just have all 10 teams in the playoffs and just say, all right, cool, everybody just beat up on Dignitas and Immortals again. It's like what the and the thing is too, I don't think TSM is completely trash. This year they're going to be worse than last year, in my opinion.
Really? That's a hot take.
I think, and what I mean worse, they might be 5-13, but they're still gonna be in that 7-8 spot. I don't see them getting any higher.
I can see that. Let's see, because the other thing to consider, guys, is a lot of these teams, at least the ones that were considered bottom tier, like last split, definitely up their game. Dig definitely up their game with the players. FlyQuest definitely up their game with their players. TSM kind of up their game with some of the players.
I think with FlyQuest, they just their chemistry just
FlyQuest are like, you know what? If we ever want to maybe win a title, we're gonna have to buy some good players. You know? Let's see. Give me a second. Let me hit checkout on this KFC order. Wait, do I want nacho fries or do I want KFC? Motherfucker, no.
Wait a second. Is your KFC also a Taco Bell?
No. It's actually right next to each other. It's literally just a 2-second walk across the street, actually.
Oh, shit.
I'm just going to... do I want KFC or do I want nacho fries? Now I want KFC. I'm black. I want chicken.
If I was you and I had a car, my fat ass would get both. I would get nacho fries from Taco Bell and then just go get fried chicken from KFC. That's how my
KFC is. When did KFC get so expensive? I don't know what happened.
No, that's everything. Everything got expensive. With the inflation.
Oh yeah.
Everything got dude. I remember I could get a 4-piece for $8.99. $8.99. Now that motherfucker's $14. I'm like, shit. Damn.
Let me see if these discount codes work. Nope, they didn't do any discount codes because they just confirmed my order. Okay, I guess that's how it works. Whatever, I guess. All right. So IMT. Nah, he's dog shit. I'm sorry, guys. This team sucks. It's gonna do so bad. Tactical? Are you serious? He had some standout games. He did, but his positioning is so awful. They have the worst top laner. They have the worst jungle top duo in the league with these two. Arguably, you could say. Revenge and Kenvi. You serious? The same 2 players that you opted into going into in the season, they're like, we're all built on Kenvi, all this stuff, and Revenge. Yeah, we're all built in. We want to build around Revenge. Building around Revenge gets you 4-14 in the league. You know what to get you in some? You want to get you in spring? giving with revenge. Let me show you. 5-13.
Okay. It's spring. Real quick, go back down because I want to see how they did in spring as well. All right, the teams is spring because that's me.
Also, I went to make sure I laid this content out for you since you didn't watch spring. There was literally 4 weeks of gameplay where this team was getting sorry, go ahead. Wrong split. My bad. Just for everything I just said.
Okay, because I'm looking at Team Liquid was number 1 in spring and fell all the way the fuck off in summer. All right, Cloud9.
This was also because Cloud9 lost some very crucial games in week 9, and that's why TL got the boost to first place.
Okay, 100 seasons. Okay, 100 seasons. The only team I saw that was consistent.
They were ramping up. This was when they started to peak in their ceiling again.
Okay,
actually.
Evil Geniuses stepped all the way the fuck up.
Not really. They actually barely made it in because there was a lot of tiebreakers.
No. I'm saying from spring to summer because Evil Geniuses.
Yeah.
Okay. The way I look at it is how they look at spring to how they look at summer.
Yeah, coming from almost missed playoffs. They almost actually didn't make playoffs for how bad their record was.
CLG got a lot better. TSM only gained 1 win. What? FlyQuest I think they got a little better. Evil Geniuses got better. Team Liquid got worse. Cloud9 got a lot worse. But
from spring to summer, yeah.
But it's I feel like I think the slide for them and then they carried right back up during the playoffs is kind of like the thing that they needed. I think as long as they got in, yeah.
Professor Dark, what's up, man? How you doing, brother? How you been doing, man? Okay. So that's just my opinions right now on Dig. Like to wrap up for Dig, I think it'll be a solid team. But looking at from their recent performances, everyone's just going off name value on this team. If you just look at the recent performances from these players, you're looking at it and going, "Oh, that's probably the reason why they're not going to do too well." They could be a surprise good playoff team. I could give them that. That is not a team you go into playoffs going, "I'm just going to just stomp this team." Like
I think Dig is going to struggle as spring, and if they keep the same roster going to summer. Don't make it because it's 8.
But if IMT are in playoffs, get out of the league. If IMT make playoffs, I want every team to sell their slots and leave because that's when you know this shit has hit the fan bad.
Yep.
Next team is going to be Golden Guardians. They have Licorice, River, Gory, Stixay, and Huhi. So they replaced Blaze Olive with Gory, who was on FPX, and they have Stixay, who is a dog shit AC. Don't know how he's still on teams. Don't know how he gets teams. This man is literally, I don't know, what's the meme of the old man with the cane and he still walks around? I love the young people.
Oh, Jesus.
Stixay is one of the worst ADCs in the league. How is this guy even still on any org, no matter what?
I think this might be the worst team of the year. Go to Guardians.
Licorice, I love Licorice, guys. He went from being the best top laner at one point to this.
I'm telling you right now, because I see some Stixay games from what you and Sean sent me.
It's bad, isn't it? It's bad.
Plus you got who you as your support. Oh Jesus, oh God, that's either that's a match made in heaven, or that bot lane is gonna be what kills this team. Like it's either that the bot lane, the AD carry support for Go to Guard is either what's gonna make this team like mediocre, or it's gonna be the reason why Go to Guards might go 0-18. and I'm not being like not saying no.
They'll get at least some wins. They'll get at least 2.
I'll say they'll get at least 3 wins, but there's gonna be an upset where they might be like a CLG or something.
Because you gotta factor in. These 5 wins are not as lucrative as you might think. So they went 0-2, 1-1, 0-2, 2-0 over Dignitas, 0-2, 0-2. They went, I'm pretty sure that's 0-2. I don't know why that's edged out. They went 1-1. Oh, that's against them, so that doesn't count. So they went
that's them.
1-1, 0-2. 1-1.
They beat TSM one time. They beat Go to Guard. No, sorry, no. That's
they beat IMT and TSM and Cloud9. That is
the only team that they 2-0'd was
someone that was actually worse than them. Fact isn't, guys, they only 2-0'd a team that was just worse than them.
And then Immortal, they broke even with them. And Cloud9, they broke even, but that was Cloud9 at the lowest. Fifth place, yeah.
27% win average. And this is from a team that had, you could say, not better players, but worse chemistry. I don't know, man. I also think Licorice, he can still carry games. Like, he's not an incompetent top laner. You saw the games. He was playing fine, relatively. But when you're on a bottom tier team like this, you can't really do anything. River, I think, came in so late. Because River was on Golden Guardian so late. They bought him like week 8. They paid like a shitload of money to dig for River because they needed to just change up their roster, probably because scrims aren't working or whatever. So I can't really blame River for that. But River, throughout the whole year, he's only really ever had exceptional games on like Jarvan. And I think it was another champion too. Other than that, River's not been really that good himself. Oh, they announced the live My Hero Academia movie.
Oh, and, gosh. That sounds bad.
That already just sounds like a wash. Nope.
That sounds like dog shit. Oh, but no.
You know what? We imagine these companies. We could make more animated My Hero Academia movies, but no, we're gonna make a live action one. Some great thinking right there. Live anime shit stinks. Anything that has live action to anime, I automatically just don't watch. I write off. I'm gonna watch that trash. But for Golden Guardians, yeah, they're sticking with dog shit. I think they might be better than IMT. I think they just have a bit of better players on their team. I think like Licorice is better than Revenge. River's better than Kenvi. They just have a bit better players. That's it. He's definitely gonna be better than at least Flesh Eye. Where the fuck this dude is, you know? All right, let's go to what did Chaz want? TSM. Ooh, TSM.
Yeah, TSM.
Let's go TSM. All right.
I will put
their roster is Solo, Boogie, Maple, Neo, Chime. Solo was okay.
Yeah, he was middle of the pack.
I've barely seen Boogie play. I've seen some games from him. He played in that Mexican league. That's the same league that TSM took that player Mia from, played Mia, and then benched him after 3 weeks into Academy. So TSM, this great thinking org, are like, you know what? We sucked in spring. Let's go buy a new support, play him for 3 weeks, fail with him, put him in Academy, then get rid of him. Great thinking, TSM. You played yourself. And then they're like, you know what? We got Mia from that league. There's another player in that league called Boogie. We got to get that guy. Wait a minute. That's not the same league you just took a player from. Did you bench in 3 weeks? Good job. Yeah. Good job. Maple, I thought was good. I think people kind of are sleeping on Maple. I think he played good, honestly. Yeah. I think he played just as well as he probably could. Neo was good on Dignitas when he was on there. I think Neo's been a solid ADC. And Chime's got some potential. I just don't think this roster is going to be doing anything like people think. TSM isn't going to be winning titles for a long time, guys.
Yep.
I kind of like this roster a bit better than last year's, but
I think they will live up to the day and be mid. I think they're going to be mid as hell. They're going to live in that 6 to 8 range.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like, they're going to be borderline, maybe playoffs outside of playoffs.
They won't do good as spring, but I think summer is where they, ramp up.
Okay, so that's because there's nothing else I can really say about them. They have very mediocre players and some players with huge upsides to them. But what is the average floor for this team? It just kind of looks like they got a ragtag roster because no one really wanted to join. That's kind of what it feels like to me. All right, let's go to FlyQuest. FlyQuest's roster is Impact, Spica, Vikla, Prince, Ayla. That's pretty fucking good. Yeah. Impact, one of the most veteran, best top laners in the league.
Yeah.
Just won a title this year. Everyone's like, Impact's old. He just won a title this year.
Yeah.
Impact's old. He can't do it anymore. Just went to MSI, just went to Worlds, just won a title.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter how old you are, as long as you're still good. Spica, he was okay on TSM this year. I think people kind of overrated him a little bit. Yeah. I don't think it was that good. He was okay. Vikla was pretty solid on KT Roaster in the LCK. Prince is one of the best AD carries in the LCK. He was even better than Guma Yusi. That guy that you saw at Worlds, everyone, Guma Yusi, Prince was better than that guy in the LCK. He didn't make Worlds because his team fell apart because his team was trash outside of closer. Ayla was on Teal Academy. Very good player that I saw for the little bit of games that I saw of him. Now the thing here with Ayla is a lot of people like this guy for the little bit of games you saw out of him. But what's he like in a full split, though? Because a lot of players do that in a lot of leagues. You'll see a guy come in randomly, do very well, and then they kind of like have these eyes on him now. But I want to see these players in full splits, though. It's happened with the NBA. It's happened with the NFL. All these sports leagues. A player will just come in, do very well under little sample sizes, and then everyone goes, that guy's really good. Why doesn't that guy have a team? Well, there's a reason for that usually. Might actually be that good. He came in at a time where, the floor is so low that anything that is better is just going to look good by default. So for FlyQuest, personally, I think they have a strong roster here. The problem here with this roster is I think it's going to be a mishmash of styles. I don't really know what style this team is going for. Impact, weak side, Spica, ganking Vic. Because the thing with Prince is Prince was an 80 carry you put all your resources into. It's going to be basically just the Prince show. Is that really what this team is going to be about? If that's what the team is going to be about, I like that idea, actually. I'm going to put them actually as good. I think they're actually going to be good. They might be okay, but I think they're going to be good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Cloud9. All right. Cloud9's roster is literally the same. They just have Diplex. They're the same roster. It's Fudge, Blabber, Diplex, Berserker, Sven. I don't know why people suddenly have been overhyping Sven as a support. He's not that good of a support. He just isn't. This Cloud9 roster, even if you discount Diplex, didn't do that well in the regular season. They just kind of didn't. They had very, very questionable games. They looked very bad in a lot of the games, too. The good games that they did play good were good, but they didn't really do anything that great in the regular season.
They played down to the competition a lot of times, and that's what fucked them because they did it because they started doing it again in the playoffs. Just luckily, the team they were playing had their own issues where Cloud9 was able to ramp up. Cloud9 never had any internal issues where they were like, all right, we don't like each other. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, they were like, okay, we didn't really have an identity as a team, but they were like, we'll just kind of figure that out as the season goes.
And that's what they did. It's like due to them just coming together at that time, they were able to ramp up while other teams were peaking. Like 100 Thieves peaked right when they started facing EG the second time without Danny. That's what 100 Thieves peaked. Like Cloud9, they no matter what, they were going to win the LCS once they got to the final. Because they had two teams that were broken. One that had an 80 carry anymore. They had to bring up a new one. And 100 Thieves was 100 Thieves. And that was to say. It's like, because even if they would have fought Team Liquid, that was another whole other shit show. That's fine. I believe them put up Diplex. That might be I think
I mean, just from what they've said, if you watch the video that everyone's probably watched so far, the League of Legends video that they put out, them talking about why they got rid of Jensen, they didn't really want to get rid of Jensen because they just didn't think he was that good. It was a money issue. They're like, Jack looked at the contracts and he was like, wow, that's probably not going to work because Jensen is not only just a veteran player, a well-accomplished player, and his contract being that big and lucrative from all of his accomplishments just in the LCS alone, that's going to cost you a lot of money. Jensen kind of only came on Cloud9 for a cheaper deal because he wanted to play in a team, right? So he probably took less money just to play on Cloud9 in the summer. But going into the spring, when you're trying to test out the free agency, you're gonna have more money, obviously.
What I think Cloud9 should have done is pay a little more to that they could have secured him for at least this year,
or just at least spring coming up at least. Because from what they've said, I mean, maybe they're fucking with me, maybe they're just joking because they like to joke a lot. They didn't really want to get rid of Jensen, which is also kind of scary because Jensen played kind of bad in the summer too, which is also another argument too. If they believe in this guy, I mean, Cloud9's always had this thing where they believe in someone that no one else does, and they do very well with him.
But they knew why they got Jensen because their thing was it's kind of like with the fucking who's the team the 99 Knicks or the I can't remember the 2010 Green Bay Packers. If we get into the playoffs, we know we can fucking win. And that's what they did. They got in the playoffs as a 6th seed. No, sorry, 5th seed. They got into the playoffs as a 5th seed, and they did enough damage that they could win. That's what Cloud9 did. They got it as the 5th seed, knowing who they had to go against. And like, all right, cool, we could beat these teams, and that's what they did. Like,
because the thing here is Fudge, pretty solid top laner for LCS standards. Blabber's pretty good jungler for LCS standards, at least. Yeah. Berserker was what? Best ADC in the league. I think they have the best ADC in the league. Zen is not as good as everyone's saying, but if Berserker just wants to play with Zen, because the thing here that a lot of these rosters that run most of the rosters back from winning titles have as an issue is winning the title potentially kind of like erases maybe having issues because winning cures everything. That's just the saying, right? So now this roster is going to go through a full year of maybe other issues that didn't come up because they won summer. EDG went through the same thing when they won Worlds. A lot of teams go through this. When you keep the same roster, you go through other potential issues. Thieves went through the same thing, actually. They won. They had issues throughout the entire year. I hope it's not a Cloud9 makes back-to-back finals and then loses both of them. That'd crush me. I'd be like, God damn, we fucking suck. But it's happening years ago, and I'm ready for it.
Shit, happened this year with 100 Cs. Like,
imagine making the final. That's crazy. Because in spring, they were actually the favorite to win that series. That's the crazy thing.
You can always be the favorite and not win. That's the biggest issue. It's like a lot of times it's like if a team gets hyped to win,
Cloud9, I'm putting them. I think they'll actually do good. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I just have concerns with other issues that have followed similar situations like this. I've seen similar situations like this for a very, very long time watching this. But to be fair, I think they'll still do good. Amazing is a stretch right at the moment.
I say they'll be good.
All right. So let's do who's
CLG.
next?
CLG's there.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Give me a sec. That's my black people chicken.
Did you just order that like 10 minutes ago?
Hello. Have a good day, sir. Have a good night. Get my black on.
Did you just order that like 10 minutes ago?
No, I thought it was at the door already.
Oh.
All right. LCS rankings and KFC. Can't name a better night. And I got my 2 days off this week. It's looking good. But then we got holidays coming up too.
Trust me, Jeff. Depending on how this meeting goes on Wednesday, I might have the weekends off. That'd be nice.
Shit, I wish I had weekends off. That's a dream.
Right. Trust me, because she was like, would you rather work Wednesdays or Saturdays? I kind of told her Wednesdays. So I was like, I'd rather, if I could, I would just work for the close Monday through Friday, have Saturday and Sunday off. What? You telling me I could go to locals, my Pokemon locals Saturday, come home. Like, do I gotta do Saturday? I'll watch the MSK show, but I'll probably be like having it in the background while I'm play testing for Sunday when I go to locals. I'm like, you tell me I can finally go to locals
on Saturday. If you finally start have Saturdays off, you can watch the LCS.
Oh hell yeah! Too. Oh yeah. No, would the LCS be on the weekdays now?
Oh, we don't know yet. That's the thing. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope they announce that first. Because I would like to know, because if it's on the weekdays, I would love to just schedule a day where me and James go out there and to the LCS, but you see how girls are going to be there and Lena's going to be sitting alone. I'm like, yo, your boyfriend's up there. You want to solve on this knob for a little bit?
He's stupid. Get yourself kicked out. Now, my
literally
thing is,
just thrown out.
My thing is, if I see Oddly Made there, I'm definitely going to try to fuck.
Holy shit. Let's go to CLG. And CLG, same thing with Cloud9, guys. Same thing.
They'll be okay.
Kept the entire roster. I think they'll be okay. I think this roster surprised. And I did like what they put together, though. But, that's all problems with but. I think they really only did as well as they did because the other teams were honestly that much worse. Cloud9 underperforming. FlyQuest kind of performing worse,
CLG,
maybe better.
I think CLG got a crucial win at the end that put them to 11-7. Were they at one point 9-7 and they were behind?
They had some 2-0s. But it was a lot of 1-1s too. It was a mixture of 2 zeros and 1 1s. They had a good split overall.
Yeah, they got clapped by the 100 seeds. They tied every team that was better than them in a sense.
Yeah.
Except for TSM. Like Flying Quest, they ended up having a slightly better record. TSM, I don't know how they tied with them. Look at the 3 teams they tied, like they 2-0 were teams everybody should have 2-0'd.
Yeah. Because that's also my thing with CLG is they did well against the teams that they should, but against the teams that are playoff caliber, they went 1-1 with.
Yeah, they never.
I mean, they played well in the game. I'm not saying like I think Pal Fox played well.
The only team that 0-2 them was Evil Geniuses, and that makes sense.
Like I think for CLG, I think Dokla kind of played well this split, kind of I guess. Contracts played well, I guess. He had a pretty good split, all things considered. Pal Fox looked good. I think Luger looked great. I think they have a strong team, and I wanted this for them. I actually wanted them to keep their roster together because I mean they said they looked into other potential options, but guys, when people usually say that in League, that means other players don't want to join. That's literally code for other people didn't want to join.
Yeah, it's like we did have a chance to sign up, but they weren't interested. Like we were interested in them, but they weren't interested in us. Yeah.
That's the lingo you're gonna start hearing more and more. CLG, I think they'll do okay. Cause like with the roster like this, they got 4th. Yes, I think this is gonna be a team that's like a limit test. If you're better than CLG, you'll probably make the playoffs. But I think they have a good roster this time around.
CLG will be in the middle. I think they'll make the playoffs, but you should not be surprised that they don't do well. But you should not be also surprised if they make playoffs because, yeah.
Team Liquid. Woo, Team Liquid with the all-Korean roster. Team Liquid have Summit, Piosik, Harry, Yeon, and Core JJ. Now, you remember that spring split that we were just talking about a while ago?
Yeah.
Summit was the... Go watch some of his games. Disgusting. This guy was the best player in the league. This guy was insane. Like, this guy is competing again. This guy's going to be arguably the best top laner. Piosik, he won Worlds. Yeah, okay. He won Worlds, guys. I'm glad he did. But that guy had some suspect games.
he won Worlds, but don't say he was... But do not put it as the best. He was not the best juggler. He was just a juggler on the best team or on the team that won.
If people compare this guy to Canyon, unplug the computer and throw that shit in the trash.
And then guess what? Throw yourself out the window with it. Like the fuck. Yeah, that's bad. And I'm not saying.
Remember some guy on Reddit, he was like, but dude, Piosik won Worlds and Kenyon didn't. Okay, I'm logging off. I'm done.
You know it's a team fucking sport. Kenyon can't beat the Piosik in jungle, but the rest of the team didn't do as well. Like, you're saying, oh, but Kenyon lost to Piosik. No,
Kenyon lost to Gen G. Yeah, Kenyon was also one of the reasons why they almost beat Gen G too. What?
Like,
I mean, I like Piosik. I think he's fine. Is he a downgraded Centauran? I think Centauran played well for Team Liquid, honestly. I don't think that's a downgrade at all, honestly.
I think anytime you take someone from a different league that has a higher record, I think it's an upgrade, but
for what this team is structured like, it's better.
Yeah.
Harry, guys, check the channel out. I actually talked to Harry a long time ago, back when he was still in Australia. So I always wanted him to get a team. He finally has a team. I've seen him in an academy. I've been watching his games from time to time. He's a good player, but smurfing on academy, what does that really mean, though? Like, he smurfs in academy. That's great. I'm glad for him. I talked to this guy. I know this guy kind of somewhat. He finally has a team. Oh, he might actually be the weakest part about why this team doesn't do so well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope he does well. I mean, I've talked to other players that have been in the league too, like a Triple, who is, I gotta get him on the show too. I want to talk to him after a while. Yeon, him and Ayla played fine for Teal Academy. They were smurfing in Academy too, but this is the big boy leagues now. This is no more like smurfing in Academy don't mean shit. You know, smurfing in Academy basically means like if you, I don't know, a gold player playing up against a bunch of bronze, that doesn't mean shit. You know,
exactly.
Yeon, I think is good. I think these are good players though. Core JJ. Not as good as everyone keeps saying from like the past recent splits. Like, he's definitely not been as good as he once was, but he's still a good player. The problem here is if you look at the past split that he was on with Team Liquid, ooh, you're like, yikes, that's looking kind of rough. but maybe this is the roster yet you finally get him to be unlocked again. It's all the Korean speaking, and we know the thing about Korean League of Legends is the thing that they all like being on the same page. Well, it's a Korean coaching staff, all Korean players, okay? So if any issues arise, it's going to be something that they're going to be hopefully able to fix easier. But where does Team Liquid land? This might actually be a dark horse to win the whole thing, potentially.
I think they're my dark horse to win the whole thing.
Really? A dark horse, motherfucker? Really?
Ha, Team Liquid, dark horse. Yep.
I don't like you. Shit.
Dark horse was Katy Perry riding on top.
Katy Perry's pretty hot, actually. The only reason why they might be able to win is Harry. I'm not saying Harry's going to be bad. If Harry is not a good mid laner for them, that is kind of what's going to be the detrimental part to them.
Yep.
But if he can be someone like, let's say, like Bjergsen, that's pretty good. That'll be fine. You know? You don't always have to be the best player on your team to win. It's a team game in general.
Who do you think on Team Liquid has to be the best player?
Summit and Piosic, most likely for sure. Because Core JJ, I think being with Yeon is going to be better for him than having Hansama.
Yeah.
I think if Piosic can effectively gank as well as he did on DRX for these players, it's going to be beneficial to them. Also, they're going to be more or less so a topside focused team with Summit. Because why would you not? I mean, Summit could generate his own resources and advantages anyway. Like, Summit is going to generate his own advantages just fine. So Piosic can go down bot more because we know Core JJ wanted it to be a bot-focused team for the TL Super team that didn't work out. I think Piosic will be more receptive of going down to bot lane if Core JJ's asking for that. You know? This roster, I think it's going to do very well, actually. I think, unpopular opinion, I think they're going to be amazing, actually. Just for spring. I don't know how I have to see how spring plays out for it. But I think just for spring, they might actually make the finals, given how maybe the LCS might actually look. Maybe. All right. Who's next? Sorry, there's Vin Diesel outside. All right. Anything you want to say about Team Liquid more?
No, I truly believe with Team Liquid, this spring is going to be rocky. I think if they make it to MSI, I think that's where they'll start ramping up, and they'll be a lot stronger for summer.
Yeah, that's my thing too. I think this is a roster where if it's a roster in playoffs, that's not a team you want to face. If you face this roster first round in playoffs, you might be looking at already going to the lower bracket. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the lower bracket already. Just get me already ready for that. Next team is going to be
100
Thieves. Their roster is Tenacity, Closer, Bjergsen, Doublelift, and Busio. Where do we even start?
I put them as good.
So many angles. There's so many angles to take this.
I will still put them as good, but because I've been watching their academy games. Tenacity and Busio are the two best players I've seen from that team, but
right.
But
it's the same thing we said with Team Liquid. Smurfing at academy is how far does that really stretch you out? You know.
And I think these moves are confusing for me because I partly feel that these were for content creation more than like league moves, in my sense, because they could have got I'm not saying a better AD carry, but from what I've seen of Doublelift over in Korea, it seems like Busio is what is probably the right support for Doublelift, because Doublelift is kind of rusty. From the games I've seen, he is rusty.
Same thing with Bjergsen. It's the same thing I saw with Bjergsen last year.
The difference, I think with this year, Bjergsen has the year under his belt. I think competitive play, because Doublelift never stopped playing. He just was not playing competitive, and that's a whole never. That's like playing basketball in the park and playing basketball against other NBA players. It's like you might do. Oh, I never stopped playing basketball, but you weren't playing competitively. It's like with YuGiOh, you just don't get back in. You go need repetition. I think right now, 100 Thieves are at the point where. I remember that whole little video they did. Spring. I think they'll still make playoffs in spring because I think they have enough power to do it. But Bjergsen and Doublelift might be their weakest links, like for spring. I think it'll start picking up once summer hits.
there's so many issues that I have. It's not even really just basically I don't like this org at all. I think they've actually been the biggest surprise in the org since they've joined. This is 2018. My issue here automatically is starting with Someday. People, if you haven't been watching very long, Someday has done so much for these people, so much for this org, that you're going into this offseason, he would be a guy, I don't care how much money he's asking for, I'd re-sign that guy.
I don't think they was ever going to re-sign him.
That's a problem. That's a huge issue.
I think if they couldn't get Bjergsen or Doublelift, I think YuGiOh would have went all four of them. I think they would have brought up every academy player except the juggler. I think they were always on their mind. They was always going to keep closer. That was the number one thing, or we're going to keep closing.
The fact that there were even rumors of them considering Spica, disgusting.
Spica was pretty much to see how much closer wanted. I think Spica was one of those. We could put Spica in our academy. I was like, nah, that won't work. That was a bluff. That was a bluff, and I think they knew they would go. I think it was too. It was a what's the word? It was assurance. It was like we're not losing both. We're not losing both someday. I think they knew they had to lose one of them. They could keep both. Plus, they like how Tenacity. I think they were invested more in how Tenacity was. Plus, how he gets along with the other people on 100 Seeds. Like, because the issue with 100 Seeds is they want to win, but they also want to do content creation. It's kind of like the team that's good enough to win, but they also want content. It's like, and you get stuck in that range because no matter what, the content will always carry over. Because even if 100 Seeds don't win, they still have content. Oh, we came up short, but we'll get them again in the summertime. It's like, all right, cool. We got Doublelift that's making videos. Mm-hmm. Who's the guy that he made videos with? No, who's the guy he made? He was in the video with. In that 100 Seeds video, the guy that was sitting next to him.
Oh, Meteos.
Meteos, yeah. There's
Meteos also was on 100 Thieves at one point. That's a whole other story I'll go over later on. That was bad back in the day. Oh god, the story behind that is disgusting. Okay, here's how it goes for me. I don't think it was someday that's gonna hurt them so hard. And I think this might be a situation of they might even want him back. If the year doesn't go well for them, I could see a world where they actually ask for him back at the end of next year. So when the
definitely.
So when the 2023 offseason starts after Worlds of next year is over, I could see a world where you hear rumors that they want to get Someday back. I think the value this guy brought to this org, the amount of great years he had for them, whatever this guy's asking for his contract, I don't care if you're having budget cuts. I don't give a fuck. Why not keep him?
I don't think it was budget cuts.
I think they maybe just want to go a different direction. That's fine. Maybe Doublelift and Bjergsen, they want to play with Someday, and that's everything. I think that's an L.
I think also they wanted to bring up their academy players a little too much. I think that was the driving force.
And I can respect that to a certain extent. If finally they're doing something with their academy that they always talk about our academy this or academy that. Okay, we'll bring them up then.
But they're sacrificing the main team by bringing up these academy players. It's like, is Tenacity better than Someday?
Will never happen.
That was
for the lack of better words, never.
That was a rhetorical question. For League of Legends, no. For content creation, maybe he kind of looks like Vinny Hacker. He looks like a brunette version of Vinny Hacker. I think the Spring/MSI is going to tell us where 100 Seeds direction is going. If you see a lot of videos with YuGiOh talk, I'm today it's going to be me versus Tenacity in this, and this, because 100 Seeds they're doing content creation and league moves at the same time. It is dangerous because one of them is going to succeed, the other one's going to have to falter, and I got a bad feeling it's going to be the League of Legends, the LOL part of it that's going to falter, because it's like, even though Someday wasn't as a person that you would make content with, he was good for the team, and I think right now they're sacrificing. I think they went with the two big names because they knew they were on the market. And so, we can get these two guys. It's like Doublelift been out for a year. That's a year of some change. That's risky. You saw how Bjergsen just played. You guys just whooped him. even though I feel like Bjergsen is slightly better than Aberdage, you just whoop these guys. Well, matter of fact, let's go back to see how they were in the spring and summer against these guys. Or just the summer.
Well, just in the playoffs, right? In the playoffs, 100 Thieves beat them both times.
Yeah.
It was both 3. It was 3-2, so it was close, yeah. But they beat them both times. In the
playoffs, plus, like, how in the regular.
I remember James was like, but it's the playoffs. Yeah, that matters. What the fuck? This is literally the playoffs.
Plus the regular season. How they do against in the regular season?
This was 100 Thieves' best regular season record ever.
14-4. Okay. I know 2 of their losses came against FlyQuest. That's me.
And then you said check spring. Spring
is summer.
TL getting this record was kind of more like the other teams losing crucial games. Because remember, this is when 100 Thieves were ramping up too.
Okay, and Bjergsen was on both Team Liquid, both spring and summer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how did 100 Thieves do against Team Liquid? They were 1-1 against them in spring. Okay, and how were they in the summer?
I'm pretty sure it was 2-0. Yeah, it was 2-0. I remember
2-0. It's like that's mean. Okay, you 3-2. That's mean you beat them. 3. You beat them 9 out of the certain. Was it? No, sorry, it's 5-5, 2, and
so
they beat them out of 14 games. Out of 14 games, you beat them 9 times. What the fuck?
Remember, TL is supposed to be perceived as the best team in the league with that super team too. Yeah. And you heard me. I said they had a better team than them. I thought they had a better team. I knew they had a better team. I knew they could beat them each time.
Yeah,
each time.
Yeah, 2s, 3 and 2s, plus you 2-0. Yeah, because it's one. Yeah, because you play them twice in each split. That's me. Yeah, 4 times. Yeah, that's 4 games. Yeah, you beat them 9 times. It's like you and Aberdage looked good. I would say about 80% out of the 14 games. I saw about 9 of them, and out of those 9 games, Aberdage looked good in 7 of them. I'm like, he just whatever Bjergsen did, it was, I think it was resourcing and just lane presence. Aberdage just looked better. It was like, and Bjergsen looked a lot better in the summertime, but it was just Aberdage got better too. It's like, oh, I'm getting better in the summertime. Your competitors are also getting better because they're playing more games too. I was like, shit, and I know now he got more experience on his belt. Of course, he's gonna ramp up. It's like, but now you got Doublelift. It's like, fuck. And then from seeing what he's doing in the Korean solo queues, they said Busio was carrying him. I was like, oh, that's not good. I don't want to hear that. It's like, wait a second. Oh,
this is also another problem we're not factoring in too. When talking about 100 Thieves, is so they essentially didn't want to re-sign arguably their best player, right? That's already kind of a red flag.
To bring up their academy player, who I think they brought him up. I think they brought him up for like league reasons and content reasons.
Then you have closer. Like, I think keeping closer is fine. I wanted them to do that because getting rid of him would have been a disaster.
Because I think in my sense they would have. I think in my sense if they kept someday and kept tenacity in the academy, Speaker would be on 100 Thieves. That I felt like it was always one of them. It was either someday and have either the Speaker or the academy juggler up, but they did not want the academy juggler up. They had no faith in them last year. From what I saw.
To me, I mean, he didn't really have that good of a year. I mean, you could arguably say he was top 4, but that's not a top 4 that I want to be a part of, actually.
That's top 4. That's top 4
That's top 4 in like the women's league for the NBA.
No, that's top 4 by default. When you were top seven by default, that doesn't mean anything. That's like, he really didn't have that many standout games, though. Like, he really didn't. Like, he had pretty average, okay games. The only standout games he really had were those Swain games. Yeah,
that was it. Even on like champions like Azir, he wasn't playing that well. I mean, I don't know how this guy's still getting Zillion after all these years. I mean, he played well on Zillion, and that just shows you how bad the LCS is. If he can still play Zillion and carry, that's just how bad the LCS is. But Bjergsen, arguably better or worse than Aberdage, depending on how you look at the situation. Though
I think competition wise is better. I think Aberdage is better competitive wise, but I think like mentally and how
that's crazy. The fact that a guy like Abadage made back-to-back finals is not on a team is ridiculous to think about.
I think word got around him about how mentally fragile he is, and they either that or he just had no interest in playing on a team.
Or maybe no teams made him an offer. That's crazy. A guy can make back-to-back finals in this league and not get potentially any offers. That's disgusting.
There was at one point where 100 Seas was going to keep. I think the only player they might have brought up was BuZio. Tenacity was one of those where when they realized none of the players were actually clicking, FBI and Huhi were the first one that was out the door. Those were the first two. Abadage was third. And someday almost actually didn't leave. It was actually closing that was supposed to go from a lot of rumors. And Speaker was right there. And the minute they said, oh, no, we'll let someday leave, Speaker had no chance. Because it was like, no, we're not getting rid of closer and someday. We're getting rid of one, unfortunately. But it's like, oh, yeah, our top lane is good. We like him, and our support's good. We'll keep the other three, or did they keep the other three in the academy? Because now how they re-ramped academy and all that, where it's like it's not really academy anymore.
So Doublelift, I mean, will Doublelift go through the same thing that Jensen and Bjergsen did? If he does go through that same thing that we just saw out of Jensen and Bjergsen to other accomplished players in the LCS, that's not going to look good either. Like, that was like Bjergsen being top 4 by default. If Doublelift is a top 4 ADC by default, that's fucking awful. Because this is my thing. I don't think coming into the split right now, Doublelift is better than Luger, Berserker, Prince,
Yeon,
or FBI, or even Yeon to some extent. Like, I think he's vastly going to be behind these guys now, because people say Doublelift, he was the best ADC I want. Oh my god,
that was like 2018.
Like, you have to factor in, there were some splits where he wasn't the best ADC, but he won the splits and people thought he was the best ADC by default.
Yeah.
There were splits where Sven was way better than him, won splits over Doublelift too.
I think Berserker, it might
like is Doublelift gonna be better than Berserker and Prince?
Prince,
those highlights you guys saw were just a minimal.
I have to watch more Prince games. I think Yeon maybe. Berserker, Luger, I feel like he will. I feel like
FBI he might go even with, but I think FBI is still a bit better right now.
No, I think FBI he won't. I think when it comes down to the support. I think literally
Vulcan over BuZio. I think Vulcan and FBI are gonna be one of the best ball ends in the league. Actually, that's what I think.
From what I'm hearing, is just kind of a little chemistry issue with EG right now. I mean, they're going to take longer to ramp up.
It took
100 Seas is already kind of clicking. That's the thing too. I think because BuZio is so new, I think Doublelift loves it. Because I think Doublelift now he doesn't want anyone to experience it, but I think he wants people that are new. I think, and BuZio actually knows what the fuck he's doing. That's why I think Doublelift loves that.
My other thing, remember when Lena brought up the fact that BuZio came up to them at an event and talked to them? Well, guys, that's different than playing in a league for 9 weeks straight, having to deal with issues maybe if you arise with them. Because it's one thing to talk to someone in a random setting.
Yeah.
Than to actually be around Doublelift for 9 weeks straight, potentially playoffs. If you make the finals, that's another different story.
Because think about it, you're playing with him now when the games are like meaningless,
but you're still trying to get through your honeymoon phase.
Because the honeymoon phase, if 100 Seas is not at least 11 or 7 or higher, there's gonna be a lot of turmoil.
Because my thing here, you also have to factor in the mid jungle synergy, because Bjergsen has never really worked well with any jungler he's ever had outside of maybe a few people in his past that I remember. Yeah. Closer and Bjergsen might be one of the worst mid jungles. Yeah. Because I don't because the thing is, Bjergsen is gonna most likely try to pull Closer to gank his lane. Not even most likely, he will.
No, he will. And
then Doublelift teams have always played around Doublelift. So you have this problem of Bjergsen needs resources, then Doublelift might want to have resources. So Tenacity's going to be on an island, and then BuZio, he's going to maybe have good chemistry with Closer, maybe?
BuZio, I don't know. BuZio's going to have good chemistry with Doublelift and Closer. No, Tenacity's automatically going to have to be on an island by himself. He's going to have to learn how to control
automatically
that
default weak side. That's it. He's on
top
Aatrox's Orin duty.
Oh no!
On.
Yes. Top lane's going automatically be the weak side. He's going to have to control that by himself. There's no way in out about it. And when it comes to tenacity, to me he's about number 5. I got Fudge, I got Summit, I got Impact, and I got Someday Overall. Solo maybe as Revenge no, Dokla. I have to watch more of his games. Arboot no, Licorice, and the way I'm looking at tenacity, not just from his. I'm looking at the resources they're going to make the top lane the weak side, but they're also going to try to funnel a lot of resources through tenacity to make sure he's not by himself completely. But I think Impact, Summit, Someday, and Fudge are going to like just outplay him throughout the whole spring split, in my opinion. But he will never be the worst player on the team. I think the worst player is going to be the 2 old guys, in my opinion. I think one of them is going to drag the team down without realizing it, in my opinion. From seeing how they are playing for Korean solo queues, because they're getting waxed, but Busio is holding his own. Busio is making Doublelift. Doublelift is making Busio look good. And that's because Doublelift is kind of ass right now. He's gonna need a few weeks to catch up. In my sense,
my other issue right now is going to be if Bjergsen just constantly pulls close, because they're gonna have issues of dedicating the resources to the team. That's my problem. And if Bjergsen's gonna have maybe an okay split, like we're thinking he may happen, it's gonna be just a Doublelift show team. And does Doublelift still have what it takes in him to carry games like he used to?
I think that's when they brought up Busio. I think Busio is an upgrade over who he, only because of how Busio if they would have kept FBI, I think Busio FBI would still. I think Busio would have worked with ever 80 carry they had. I think the way Busio played, he supports the 80 carry a lot of times. I feel like who he was trying to do too much, where I feel like who he had times was the support that wanted to play 80 carry, but he's not gonna play 80 carry. That's why he plays support. Busio is an actual support. That's why it works in a sense. That's why I feel like all Doublelift has to do is not feed and just be stable enough where Busio is control the lanes with you. He wave clears and all that. I forgot what champions he plays, but it's as long as you have that with Doublelift, you're all set. But that's that. Their chemistry's gonna have to get better. And I'm not saying it's shit, but I'm saying they're gonna have to be on a point where they can communicate without even saying anything. Doublelift does something, Busio knows, all right, cool, let me do this, without even them talking to each other. They're gonna have to do what 100Cs used to do, where they were able to communicate without saying anything by just moving on the.
Also, another layer to this problem too, because that's this new 100 Thieves roster potentially has more issues the more you think about it than you realize. Because then Bjergsen and Doublelift, as what Lena has said and everyone knows, they're cool with each other. Now, how about playing with each other throughout an entire year potentially together? Now,
how about
are they going to have these tough conversations with each other? Because the thing here is you're going to have these tough conversations with each other, right? But then it's more like getting everyone else around these tough conversations. And Doublelift has been known in the past to be kind of hard to work with. As a new guy, going to be able to just handle that throughout a lot of these weeks.
My main thing also is now you're having a tough. You're not the best guys in the league anymore. You're not the top guys in the league anymore. Think about it. You're not the ones that are afraid of face. I was like, fuck, we got to face these two. Because they were on a team, how long were they on a team together? 2
Lots
years?
Of years, 2016, 2017, 2020.
No one's afraid of them anymore. That's the thing, too. Now they have to realize that. There's, Bjergsen, okay. Well, let's look at the mid laners. JoJo, I put him over. I put Jensen over. Diplex? Do we put Diplex? No, we'll put Diplex over Bjergsen.
Not yet. There's not enough. I haven't seen enough games to do that. I mean, he has high potential.
No. To me, I think Bjergsen's third best, but that's what JoJo and Jensen. JoJo, do you put Hayari over Bjergsen? No, right?
Not at the moment. I can't. Just going off of just discrepancies between the academy and the league itself.
Because right now, because when you look at each team and you look at for what you see, all right, Tenacity's about the fifth best, top laner coming in. Closer is about the fourth best.
Closer as the jungler, arguably probably gonna be. I still think he might be the best, depending on how I got to see more games. These new guys coming in. But I think Inspired is right there next to him.
Inspired, Blabber, Santorin, PO6. Who
those are probably your top 6 junglers right there. Because I mean, come on, let's be honest with you. Kennedy's going to be tearing it up, right?
Contract, no. River, no. Bougie, and I gotta watch more. No, I got no faith in anybody coming from Mexico. I watched some of their games too. There was
I don't know what Sean looks at them for. Those people are trash.
They're I mean, compared to me, they're good, but that's compared to me as someone who just started all this. My thing here
is with the 100 Thieves is so many issues that could arise, right? And there's another elf in the room. They have Unforgiven on their academy team. So they have Unforgiven because if Doublelift kind of doesn't want to, maybe be a full long-term player again, then you have Unforgiven. Because I know he put a video out about why he joined 100 Thieves. And that we're going to watch right now.
Because I think it was the only team that actually truly.
I love how he says that. So it's like, it's not about the money. I was like, Double, we know that. We know you're rich, so we know you're not joining for the money.
Yeah, no. We know you're rich with a good looking girlfriend. Like, holy shit, man, you ain't got a fucking flex. God damn.
He was like, yeah, I didn't join 100 Thieves for the money. No shit,
nigga. We know, motherfucker. Like shit.
Stream peaks out of 12,000 viewers. We know you don't need the money. Obviously, everyone knows you're going to take a pay cut from a full-time streamer in that regard to go into a team.
10,000 viewers watching you get your ass with the Korean solo killer. And everybody was like, Doublelift will be better by the time the season starts. I'm like, yeah, because he
anything about Bjergsen last year, too. You know what's crazy? All the people that said that about Doublelift in that stream you're talking about said the same exact shit about Bjergsen last year.
Yeah, I'm telling you right
That's
now.
Not good.
I'm telling you right now, 100 C's is barely beating fucking the T1 Academy players. They're barely beating them. It's one of those where
T1 Academy knows how to bring up players. That's why you get players from them. They know how to bring up players good.
It's T1 Academy. We're barely.
To be fair, that is T1. That they have a really good system of how they bring up academy players.
Because apparently. It's like they say if they stay there long enough, they might face T1 and it's gross. Like they're gonna Bjergsen's gonna get whacked by Faker. That's I'll pay to see that. It's like because you guys are barely beating the academy players and you guys are losing late a lot. I think when it comes to the academy players, they're undisciplined that where they go for team fights, they should just go for resources. Do not go for a team fight at the Dragon where you can pick up the Baron or vice versa. And they try to go for both and they'll lose one. And by the time they lose that first one, they lose the second one because they have no champions on the board. It's like, chill the fuck up.
Yesterday, the news dropped that I'm going to be on 100 Thieves LCS team, that I'm returning to competitive play. And I thought I'd do just a quick video answering some of the most common questions that I'm getting and just kind of explaining what's going on, what do I think about my new team, and how I think my comeback is going to be. Probably the most important and most common question that I get is, why are you coming back? It's been 2 years. So why are you coming back? And do you think you'll still be good? We're doing a little backtracking here. I was on TSM. We had that legendary Worlds run, everyone's favorite. Came back and pretty late in the offseason, Bjergsen announced he was going to retire. And now TSM all of a sudden is looking to replace pretty much everybody, except for me and Spica. Pretty late in the offseason, the TLDR is, I wanted to keep playing. In fact, I was so excited to play the Sword Art. I would have stuck with TSM if they had locked Sword Art, but they didn't. So I wanted to explore my options. Reginald took offense to that and said, you're not committed to the team. So
yeah, I remember that. He wanted to still keep playing, but Reginald, they were having issues with signing Sword Art because of just how the system was with COVID. So they couldn't really get him initially when they initially wanted to, but Double was like, are we still getting Sword Art? Reginald was like having issues with that too.
Fuck you, I'm going to give your spot to Lost. Your spot's gone. Go enjoy, explore options. I was like looking around.
Yeah, Reginald's just a stupid piece of shit. Imagine getting rid of Doublelift for that reason. Like, Doublelift obviously has issues with a lot of people in the league, but imagine this. Wanting to get rid of Doublelift for a player like Lost and then complaining that you don't make worlds. Reginald is an idiot.
No options. Basically only bottom tier teams. So options for me at that point are to join a very suboptimal roster or to take a break / retire and pursue full-time streaming. And that's the latter is what I chose. I chose to pursue full-time streaming. Now, year one, surprise, I fucking loved it. I actually really loved streaming. It was super fun. I still love streaming even to this day, but I had so much passion for it on the first year. And so coming into year two, like my stream was popping off because of co-streams. Basically, I was making the bag. I was having a good time. It's probably an open secret at this point. Streaming makes multiple times more money than playing pro, and you have to put in about half as much time. Year two hits, and COVID lockdown stops being as strict, and I start going to LCS events. I miss it. The competitive itch hits me pretty hard. When you get the competitive itch, it doesn't go away. You need to scratch it. So I was thinking, I'm not enjoying streaming nearly as much, and I'm also a little bit worried. 2 years. That's a fucking long time not to be playing scrims or stage games. Maybe I, lost all my skills. Maybe I'm just not good anymore. So
yeah, it's going to be a thing where you don't play scrims or play on stage. You're just going to get rusty. Same thing Bjergsen went through. I hope he doesn't go through that.
I'm just going to go into this off season and I'm going to see. I'm going to ask all 10 teams, are you interested? And to my great surprise, actually still to this day, I'm fucking mind blown. A lot of the teams were really interested. That actually gave me confidence. Them having confidence in me gave me confidence. Without that, I would probably have stayed as a streamer, to be honest, because I kind of needed some reassurance. And I think a lot.
That right there shows they weren't confident in FBI anymore. Oh, I love it.
A lot of the players and a lot of the coaches and staff believed in me. And that just kind of like reinvigorated me a little bit. Do I think that being off of a 2-year break is going to hamper my skill? Yes. Holy shit. Doing that for anything, for anybody is going to make you worse at whatever you do. But I do fully believe that I'm going to get back into form at some point. It's going to take me some time. It might take me a few months. It might even take me half the split or the whole split. I don't know. I do think that I'm going to get back into form and be the best in my position again. The second question, or I guess third question that I get a lot is, what do you think about your new team, 100 Thieves? I chose 100 Thieves because they actually have a sick brand. I didn't go there for the bag, let me tell you that much. I didn't come back to playing pro for the money. You guys should know the economy is fucking in shambles, okay? Like playing pro, my accountant hates me. Everyone that I work with in a business setting hates me. But I'm doing it for fulfillment and because I want to. So that I'm here for the right reasons. It's because I have the passion for it. It's because I want to grind. It's because I want to work hard. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing this. Anyways, why did I choose 100 Thieves? Their staff, when I talked to them, blew me away. The people working on operating the spot, people work operating out their LCS team. Very, very transparent and very smart people. Also, they just had a lot of the pieces that I wanted, right? Like they, basically for support, I was really excited to play with a rookie player. I don't want to play double boomers bot lane. They have the most exciting support prospect with YuGiOh. I think he was the standout best performing support in Academy, which I know a lot of people are like, oh, Academy, it doesn't matter. But realistically, guys, like if you're performing well in Academy, it's a pretty decent sign. It's like,
yeah, I mean, or it could be a bad sign that they're playing up against truly shitty other players too. Step
one, I guess. And I think YuGiOh is a really exciting person to play with. They also had Tenacity, and I think he's a really exciting top laner, he just has a lot of raw skill, right? Like people would say that he's also the best Academy top laner. So it's like, okay, they have two really, really, really high skilled rookies. And to fill it out, I think me and Sorn were talking a bunch in the offseason, and we decided, okay, we're going to go together to 100 Thieves.
I just realized that I totally didn't talk about closer during the roster part. I got so caught up talking about boomers and rookies. Totally forgot to mention him. He is in between. He's not totally fresh, but he's not a veteran either. The guy is super clutch. He played a lot of the playoff series and just put the team on his back. So I think he's great.
That's pretty much how it was done. I'm super happy with the roster. I think 100 Thieves is an amazing org, and they're just fun. They make cool merch. They're actually cool. They make funny content. I like them. I'm super happy that I ended up on a team with a lot of like positive fan sentiment, I guess, because it would really have sucked if I went to a place with just no fans. I'm really excited for the future for LCS. Just gonna leave it at that. I think the expectations of me for some reason are super low. Everyone thinks that I'm washed, too old, mechanics suck, never gonna be good again. Like, great. Yeah, I'm actually like, that makes me pumped, like not only do I get to prove those people wrong, but finally the expectations are not just like the bar is not set super, super high. So let's just wait and see. I think I'm gonna impress.
Also, this is going to change throughout the year. A lot of times with these situations, guys, these type of mentalities, a lot of players just change. So what is said right now is only in context without playing. Then when you're actually playing, you have other issues that arise.
Yeah,
everybody. Though I'm gonna need some time. Like if I was to grade my play right now, okay, when I started the boot camp, we're in Korea right now for a boot camp, open secret finally. F minus. Now I'm like a D minus. Like maybe in a few weeks I'll be a C, and then I'm just really hoping that
works. That's not even how that works. He said it was a D minus right now. I guess in the LCS. Like, so what does that translate in LCS terms? Middle of the pack ADC?
No, I mean LCS F minus is like you're still better than like 2 to 80 carries. Now you're D minus, you're better than 3 to 80 carries. It's like
I can just keep the progress going because we've only been here for a week, and I've only really been playing League seriously for a week. Oh, last question I got to tell on my stream is we're here and we're partnered with the T1. We're partnered with T1, so we're at their facility. No, I haven't met any of the players there, and that's why you're going to see like T1 logo and branding all around our streams and stuff like that. And
that's because Faker is probably with his girlfriend and fucking her and with his family. Most likely all the players are on vacation.
So, no, trust me, right now, they're ramping up already. Cool. This year, we got to take spring, summer, MSI, and Worlds.
Yeah, T1 is like, we're going to win everything.
We lose to a team that disbanded about 2 weeks later. Nah, fuck that. We got to.
With the LCK, they have their other problems themselves. But yeah, guys, T1 are going to be really scary coming to this year. I hope they are. I mean, I hope.
Oh, no, they are. They're out of fucking.
Joe Marsh really, really wants to win a title in something in League. They've gotten so close, man. That's crazy.
Second in both spring and summer. Second.
Well, they won spring. They won spring. They got second in everything else.
They spring.
MSI second, summer second, and world second. 3 second place finishes in a row.
Nah, fuck that. That's first loser. That's how they say it. If you don't come in first, you're last. Like,
right? Yeah.
That motherfucker's about to go Super Saiyan. They're like, fuck this. Everybody get clapped. It's like, all right, cool. They like. I'll say.
Will I be streaming again during the season? That's another question I get a lot, and I'll probably be streaming a lot less. But you guys know how it is. LCS schedule. At least you got to watch my games.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not going to be streaming nearly as much as I was full time. Obviously, I'm fucking busy practicing. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. Thank you to everyone who's honestly like supported me, been hyped up, and just been really positive. Honestly, I really appreciate it. Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have a good amount of new fans for Doublelift and Bjergsen, and you got to factor in when Doublelift and Bjergsen eventually leave the org, because eventually that will happen. Nothing lasts forever. They're gonna have all these fans that might just stay. They're like, oh, like 100 Thieves. I'll be a fan of them. So much lingering fans they'll have actually, just from bringing back Doublelift.
Plus the content, plus they're gonna carry. If they do any content with other like the content creators, dude, it's gonna be nuts. That team has the biggest question mark on it. They can either be 6th or they could be 2nd. I don't see them being 1st. I truly agree.
Based off what he just said, they're going to struggle in spring. I think they'll ramp up in the playoffs like Cloud9 did in the previous summer split.
I think they struggle at the beginning of spring. I think if they make it to MSI, that's where they start picking things up. I think that's when they start becoming a dangerous team. I think they won't win MSI, of course, but I think they'll be a very dangerous team.
Well, you got to get through Cloud9 and TL and EG first to get to MSI. Holy shit.
I think Cloud9 will take a step back. I think Diplex is going to. I think that Team Liquid, we have to see because
Team Liquid have a lot of high potential, potentially, but the floor for them, if it starts getting bad, could be like really bad.
Cloud9 too, because Cloud9 seems like they don't have a hot start, but they have a hot.
But if all the players like playing with each other, that could go so far to get you very far. But I don't know how much that wins you, because them liking playing with each other got them a split win. That was also with another mid laner too. Yeah. Also, we got to go through the last team, which is Evil Geniuses. This is definitely a front runner in a lot of people's rankings to win the split. Someday Inspired, Jojo Pion, FBI, and Vulcan. Someday, arguably best top laner in the league. Upgrade over Impact. Inspired, one of the best junglers in the league, if not the best jungler. Jojo Pion, one of the best mid laners, if not the best mid laner. FBI struggled throughout the whole year, but arguably was like top 4.
I think FBI's struggle came because of Hui. I'm not even gonna add.
Even if you watch the spring games, I would go back and watch those spring games if you didn't, because you have something to watch that you can catch.
No, I watched spring games.
He was okay in spring. He arguably top 4.
He was good. He was good in spring. Like I
said,
actually
better in spring than he was in summer. Actually,
like I said, that's when the end of spring. That's when I started seeing the cracks between FBI and Hui. It was one of those things where
they won that Team Liquid series, and then that kind of gave them the confidence that they could still win, even though they might have bot lane issues. And well,
it was FBI. I think FBI wanted Hui to do like clear lane. It was that plus champion picks. Hui was just picking some champions. I'll scratch my head.
Yeah, and the stuff that made him good, like set support, he stopped picking shit like that too. Like his edge was just gone too. Yeah, and then you have Vulcan, who's one of the best supports in the league. This is going to be arguably
Vulcan's definitely an upgrade over Hui. That's
the only issue that I could see with this team is that they're not on the same page together. That's the only real issue I could see with them. They have the skill, they have the players to do it, they have the players to win another title. If EG win another spring title, I'm not surprised.
Who do you think is going? Who do you think? Okay. Who do you think is going to be the best player? Who do you think is going to be the best player in the team, and the player that's going to make them have the biggest concern?
My biggest concern is more like Jojo Pion keeping up his form. I think he was arguably the best mid laner last split, but mid lane pool very weak, and can he carry that into this split too? Also, Inspired and Jojo Pion themselves don't have the best synergy either. I mean, we saw that. We noticed that. That's a big problem too. If they can fix it, everyone's like, but in the next year they'll just fix it. No, that's not how that works, people.
That's not how it works. I'm telling you right now.
That is not how. I mean, I hope they fix their shit, but that's not how that works. Someday, I think he'll do just fine. Slotting that guy in, I don't think that's going to be an issue with him at all.
I think
the only actual issue is FBI and Vulcan getting together. I think this could have the potential to be the best bot lane in the league. Potentially.
I think FA. I think we gotta see how, like, I have to watch more Vulcan games. I have to see how he was with who was he playing with last year? Bot lane
before that was Cloud9.
Okay.
Before that was Cloud9 for 2 years, and then before that was Clutch.
No, last year, who was he playing with a bot lane? I totally forgot.
Oh, with Ven. Ven was from ADC. Yeah.
Okay.
For EG, I think you're looking at a potential championship title winner. Yeah, maybe I'm overhyping them. Maybe.
No, I think they are. They might be the best team. I think they're the top team. To me, from 1 to 10, I put EG 1. I put Team Liquid 2. There's just too much they're seeing. I think they're 2.
Cloud9 100 for like 3rd.
I put Cloud9. I put Cloud9 3 only because they're bringing 4 out of 5 people back. 100 seasons 4 by default. Unfortunately, I think FlyQuest. I think FlyQuest and 100 seasons will fight for that 4th spot. I think CLG will take a step back, but they'll still be number 6. Dignitas will be above TSM because TSM will be mid, and Immortals is the worst only because I think Golden Guardians, they kind of was ramping up, and I think Immortals took a step back.
Yeah, that's kind of how I would rank the teams too. I mean,
No,
you might even want to have. You could say you could have Dig over CLG. That's fine too.
I would agree with that too. To me, I think Dignitas will be the last team to get into playoffs. I think they're
because remember, guys, for spring it's 6 teams make playoffs. It's not 8 teams like it's for summer. This is 6 teams make it. So not having TSM and CLG make playoffs is kind of interesting, but makes sense.
But also with all the TSM issues, I can see TSM being dead last.
Yeah, the problem here with TSM is like TSM went through so many issues last year. Now imagine if they're losing as hard as they were, or imagine a world where they're not doing as well as they think they probably should. TSM's gonna make roster. What's the word? Roster. Player changes. They're gonna make player changes. Actually,
player adjustments, player changes. Yeah,
yeah, because we know that TSM. We just saw it this year and other years in the past I've been watching. If they don't do as well as they're thinking that they should be doing, or the pressure's too hard on them, or they're not performing as well, they will make a roster adjustment. They will. Yeah. I don't think their roster this year, and this looks okay on paper, but this is like you're peaking out at like 7th, maybe 6th place. You're fighting for that last playoff spot with this roster.
Yeah,
and I think Maple is good. I honestly think Maple is good, but I mean, how much can he really carry these guys? You know, like how much can Maple really carry them?
Like, I do believe it's going to be EG 1 to see. Like, these are going to be the top 5 that automatically I feel like will be in the playoffs. I think Dig will make it because TSM and CLG are going to, like, they're going to crash into each other and they're going to both knock each other out. I think Dig would get in there just because of the jungle and mid laner and maybe the bot lane, but I don't have any faith. I have no faith in Golden Guardians or Immortals. Like, no, because the way, like, I've seen enough Stixan games, but I've seen enough Who He games where I have no faith. Like, if
that guy winning a title was just kind of more like right place at the right time, he kind of hit his ceiling for how good he's going to be as a support. He's never hitting that ceiling ever again. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I have hopes. I'm pretty sure EG's. I don't want to say this, Cloud9, but EG are most likely had the highest chances of winning spring, given this kind of roster. I think this roster will have some issues, like in the regular season.
EG team looking will go off for the number 1 spot. I guess it's gonna be one of those two.
I also think that EG will potentially have problems at the beginning part of the split, but then more or less will get better as the season ramps up. Because if you see EG start like, I don't know, fucking what's a mid record? Because it's 18 games for starting off. If you see them start off like, if you see EG start off like 5-4, I think I could anticipate that. But as they ramp up throughout the season,
I would be worried. So if their first 9 games and they're 3-6, that's what I'm like. Okay,
yeah, if they're 3-6, you might want to. You got to step it up. Actually, I forget, guys. They almost didn't even make the playoffs in the spring, where they won the title. Actually, they were literally one tiebreaker game away from not making it in the playoffs itself. So,
yeah, because weren't they 9? Yeah, they were 9-9.
So if they lost one more game that day or earlier in the week, they would have not made it. So my issue here is with Dig and Toss. I think Dig is going to be on the outskirts because the other teams kind of better players to a certain extent, and a lot of the other key roles.
I think there's already 5 lock-in players, and now it's that number 6 seed. Who gets it? There's CLG, there's 10.
Remember, CLG is returning with players that they already have previous synergy with. That can be a bonus for them.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna carry them over Dignitas. I think Dignitas is gonna be a resume booster. Like, all right, Santorin and Jess is still having who was to pick these guys up. Like, not FlyQuest. I think TSM. This might be the last year TSM might be in existence. And I'll come from that from the FTX kind of issue, not from a competitive play style. I think they have, if this FTX really rules like them in a sense, I think TSM has 1 year left. Like,
I just don't think they're going to be as competitive as it used to be. I think they're scaling down their investment into the LCS actually, because I don't think you can tell me a situation or give me a pitch where you want to win LCS, but you want to keep solo. What?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. You want to win LCS, but you're picking up a guy in a secondary region, wildcard region, the same place you also grabbed another guy from that you played for 3 weeks and didn't do and just got rid of him. Like, if these orgs try selling you guys on some bullshit, you know what that shit. No way TSM put this roster together and was like, we're gonna win LCS. No, you put this roster together to not be last. That's what you did. Because if they got worse players, they probably could arguably even be last. Then again, we've seen teams in spring have rough starts, but there's been situations where they have gotten better. That doesn't always happen, though. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
My other thing here is with the COG roster, they try to look for replacements. It's also hard to know. If you put that video out there, the players know you try to replace me. Oh Lord, Jesus fucking Christ. But that's so you're gonna have this soup, right? You're gonna have this soup of like, okay, your bottom tier teams are Golden Guardians and IMT. That's just what I was saying, right?
Yeah.
Then you have the other teams kind of fighting for that 6th place spot. COG, Dignitas, and TSM. Then you have another group of teams where it's like all these teams on paper could actually probably win the title, but they also bring their massive issues too. They give another team, which is just EG, which is probably looks like the best team in the league. Arguably, right? So there's these like 4 subsections. You have arguably maybe the front runner to win the spring split. These other teams who can all on any given day potentially make the finals run, win the split, but other issues with how the players might play the game. You have another layer of just teams competing for 6th, and then just the shitty ones. I mean, the bottom tier teams in the LCS didn't really get better. It was literally just Dig that got better because Pure Factor and FlyQuest did fine for whatever 2022 was for them. They did pretty okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what did people expect from them? This is better than what they kind of usually do. I mean, people were like, the bottom 2 teams in the LCS got better. No, they didn't. IMT got arguably worse. Probably going to be just about as bad. Golden Guardians are going to be trash. And there's no faith in that roster. If you're playing Stixay in 2022, I mean, you're going to be like, and Arrow's like, we want to do better. We want to do so much better. Really? Stixay, 80 carry? Yeah, sure. Go fuck off.
That whole bot lane will be on fire.
Then you have TSM, who's a roster of okay players, and then what else do you have from them? And the other thing about 100 Thieves is they're probably the most volatile team that could potentially win the title in terms of just the way the players see the game versus how they might not see the game the same way versus how the resource management between the players, that might also be another huge thing they're going to have to go through.
Yeah.
So FlyQuest, you have a mixture of players that can work on paper. They can, but another thing of clashing of styles. How's that going to work out for them? But I'll say this, though. The LCS does look a little spicy coming to the season, though. I am hyped to see the LCS again. I'm pretty sure we're going to have lock-in, but I don't know yet. I wouldn't have lock-in if I'm just being honest here. I think lock-in is just almost a waste of time. Like, people were asking for this preseason tournament, like the Kespa Cup and the LPL half of the Demacia Cup. Yeah. But then people realize, wait a minute, nobody talks about the Demacia Cup or the Kespa Cup after they're finished. Preseason tournaments are meaningless. So if you're going to take away Rift Rivals, because back in the day when they used to have more international competitions with like Rift Rivals and IEMs, people said, it's meaningless, you don't get anything out of it. Then why do you want lock-in then? What kind of backwards mentality is that? Lock-in means nothing. I hate LCS fans sometimes, man. I'm such a fucking idiot. Yeah, it's cool to have a preseason tournament when there's nothing going on. That's cool. But when lock-in is over, it doesn't matter. Team Liquid has won both lock-in tournaments from last year and this year. And what has that gotten them? Basically, fuck all.
Absolutely nothing.
It's like, yeah, we won lock-in. Yeah, I also, put on my clothes today. Like,
yeah.
where are we going with here? But yeah, more content is coming for you guys. I have to do my channel update video. One more off-season video to come to you guys. Then the channel update video. Then I'll just be doing like response videos. We're gonna have one more Cloud9 podcast next week. Won't be as long as this one, obviously. It's going to be recapping the year and just worlds and everything and just how we felt about this year going forward. That's it. After next week's episode of the Cloud9 Podcast, next episode is the last one for the year because there's nothing else going on. There's nothing else to do, essentially. So you guys will just be getting pre-recorded content. But yeah, man, what are you going to be doing?
I got a bunch of pack openers coming up soon. I have I just have more videos coming out. Like I'm doing 12 days of Pac-Miss, where I'm just opening packs for 12 days from starting today, December 13th, all the way to the 25th. Pretty much any of those packs, any card that come out of those packs, if you want them, let me know. I'll like some of the cards are gonna be sold. Some of the cards I'll give away for free. I'll let people know which cards. It's like depending on what card you ask for, it's either because I'm gonna make an actual video saying, oh, some of these cards are gonna be free, some cards are gonna be up for sale. Let me know which card it is, and I'll let you know if it's free or if it's being, so that you can purchase. But yeah,
that's from cringe.
Yeah.
Oh God, jeez. Well, that is pretty much it. All of the people are cosplaying Invincible. That's cool as fuck. I like that shit. Well, guys, that's it. Sorry about potentially not having any more Cloud9 podcasts after next week because we have nothing to talk about. There's literally nothing. That's kind of how all the season works. Unless I'm just going over random player streams and we just talk about random videos that I do that already on my main YouTube channel.
Yeah.
There's literally just next week, and I just put out content for me going over other people's videos. That's it. And no, I'm not going to be, going over INT's roster announcement because I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because they're doing individual videos. Like, oh, we got Impact. All right, cool. He's gonna be the only one that had the impact on the team. Pun intended.
Yeah. Like with IMT, they're like, yeah, we're gonna get a better coaching infrastructure. Cool. The guy's like, we don't have a big budget. Cool. So basically you're telling me not to root for you? So what? So you don't have a big budget. You got ragtag players that already were bad provenly this year.
Over under 5 wins. I'm picking a split. I'm going 5 wins even. I don't think if y'all get over 5 wins, I'll be surprised. Like
I think they get as many wins as they do in last spring. This spring.
My thing is, if like with Dignitas, if Dignitas gets 6 wins, 4 of them better come between INT and Golden Guardians. I'm telling you right now, like I'm saying, Golden Guardian could easily go 0-18. Like,
I think they'll get as many wins as they did this previous split, which is like 4. I'll at least give INT and Golden Guardians 4 wins. That's what I'll give them.
I think Dignitas will have more wins than last year.
Well, they do have better players, though. That is going to give you that default. But I don't think they're going to be doing anything more outside of that. Yeah, I think they'll get in the playoffs. This is a team I think could do some damage in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But it's also like, the thing is to understand everyone watching this is they have better players now, but it's all about how you use the better players, though. Coaching staff and all that infrastructure stuff goes on a conversation, too. Do we take EG or the field?
I'm taking the field.
I'm taking the field. I like EG's roster. I think they're going to do very good, but I'm taking the field.
Dude, and I will always take the field only because it's just easier.
Also, Doublelift and Bjergsen want to play together. They like playing together. We'll see how it goes. That's the best way I could say it, guys. I think Bjergsen might have a better split this coming around. This is might. I also might have my dad in my life. Not happening.
Booster right now is on it's online play league.
Also, like a lot of these guys don't create enough content. Because people are like, well, how did Doublelift get his fan base? You gotta just put in all the hours, man. Like Sneaky, he can live off how much money he makes now because he put in the work. Sneaky, play LCS, get off the LCS, go stream for 4 hours straight.
Yeah.
Playing more League. Okay?
Scrims, Doublelift is also playing too.
Scrims, stage games, playoffs, all that shit. He would even 5-hour stream when they were in solo queue, Korean solo queues, actually. So if you want to get as big as some of these guys, you might not be as popular as they are. That's true. But you're trying to build a brand. You got to build the best brand you can when you're in the league. The fact that a lot of these orgs don't emphasize that enough that's crazy to me personally, But all right, guys, we'll see you next week, and we'll recap the entire year for you, and most of the year for you. All right, guys, deuces. See you guys later. More content is dropping, but yeah, after next week, no more Cloud9 Podcast for the rest of the year because I got to take a break. Also, because I know if I don't take a break right now, I'm not going to get a chance to next year. Because as you guys know, when the season starts, I mean, getting free time is going to be almost impossible, you know?
Oh, yeah.
4 leagues to watch. I have to watch the LCS, LEC, LPL, LCK, keep up with all the narratives, all the players, all the storylines, all the games, all the fucking champions they play, who they face in this week, who they face in that week, what's going on in this league, what's going on in this league, who you trading, all that stuff. And I'm still trying to play Valorant too to get more stuff done with that. But also, gotta factor in, guys, when the season starts, spring, playoffs, MSI, after that, summer, playoffs, worlds, off season. There's very few breaks in the season. Like, you know how teams, they don't make playoffs already on break? Well, I don't get that, okay? Because I still have to cover the games, right? So the only theoretical break I get is like the little mini weeks between the beginning of summer. That's like essentially it. That's literally all it is. And that little time period before Worlds start. That's like the only time frame you really have in the season. After Worlds is over, well, you have pretty much the month of December for free time. November is not even free because November is the off season. And you got to talk about all the roster moves. Yeah. So from January all the way to November, we clock in. That's it. We clock in. All hours here. And you guys know I like you guys a lot. There's been people that have been commenting more on the videos. All lurkers have been here for a long time. It's hard. Like, a lot of people think I don't know this stuff because I'm not like that high ranked in the game. I could tell you shit you probably never heard of in your life. Do people know that Fnatic could not have been the thing that Chaz is talking about with TSM? That was a thing for Fnatic. G2 loaned Fnatic money, and if G2 didn't loan Fnatic this money, they would have been out of the league. Fnatic would have ceased to exist. The only reason why G2 didn't get their money back was because Riot stepped in and went, nope, because if Fnatic didn't pay back the loan, then Carlos would have owned Fnatic and G2. That's the only reason. And the motherfuckers on Twitter are like, Carlos is trash and all sort of stuff. He's the one he's the guy who literally kept Fnatic in the league. Okay?
I'm telling you right
Fnatic
now.
would be gone if Carlos didn't give them money.
G2 gets rid of Carlos because of the whole shit. And now I would be
I'm not kidding you. I can even, I've links to these articles. I can tell you. Carlos gave them money. Okay? And the only reason why he didn't get his money back, because Riot reversed the loan. That doesn't make sense. That means Fnatic just stole this money, essentially. What the fuck?
Purge, what it was it's a reverse.
And then Carlos, the guy that, did MSI, Worlds, as well as G2 rosters, he's the one's out of the league. What the fuck?
I think partially, I think that whole thing with Andrew Tate was a smoke screen. I think they made it illegal for him to do that because it's an actual term, but it's not reverse loan. I forgot the actual term for it. It's no, it's not insider trading because I forgot the actual move, but yeah, due to they're in the same league, they don't want one team. Like they don't want somebody.
Essentially, Carlos would own both storied orgs in the league if that loan didn't get reversed. He would actually own Fnatic and G2.
Was he the owner of G2?
At the time, yeah. He was the CEO, founder, and owner of it.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah. Because, fuck. Yeah,
fuck. Yeah, literally. Fnatic would have been owned by, Carlos would have owned Fnatic and G2, and you can't, because people, they ask me, like, why can't a guy own both teams? Okay, for the layman's terms of it.
Conflict of interest.
That's because you could. Because literally, he could sack one team, swap the players around as he feels like, make one team worse just to have this team win a title, then the other team is already going to be better than the other
team. That's like with the Lakers there with Memphis Grizzlies back in the day. Oh, but like in the comparison, not to say because Jerry West doesn't own Memphis,
right? Yeah,
but he is Mr. NBA. He is one of the Lakers greats. Of course, you become a GM of another team. And then they traded Pau Gasol for his younger brother. Mm-hmm. It's 3 Negroes who are out of the league. 2 of them are in jail, like for Pau Gasol. And then the Lakers ended up winning 2 NBA championships. While Memphis, they got better, but then half their team were niggas from jail. Like,
also to mention the because the LPL got in trouble with that too. The LPL was Well, there's some heavy rumors out there, almost
Yeah.
confirmed, that there were some owners having multiple teams. Now, with the LPL, it's a bit different. It's still wrong. They have more teams. And essentially, guys, I'm being honest here, outside of, if you're not in top 10 for the LPL, you're essentially garbage anyway. It's still wrong. I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah, no, it's still wrong. But that would make sense. I'm not saying it makes sense, but it would make sense if somebody did own 2 teams. I'm not saying it's right.
A lot of these orgs be sacking some of their
because
seasons.
what they would do
these
is
orgs are always like, well, yeah, we're gonna win the title. You picking up bottom tier, bottom of the barrel, shoe scraping players. No, you ain't winning no titles.
No, this is what a lot of teams would do. They would have somebody else buy a team, but knowing the money's get funded by them to them, but they have the other team being like a proxy owner. They will funnel all the money for some money laundering stuff, right?
Right.
You're thinking, oh, why did this trade go through? Like the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis Grizzlies are a team that has been in the league for more than 20 years. The Lakers are a storied franchise. I think at that time they had about 14
There's also another thing too. You got to factor in, if let's say he did end up owning Fnatic in G2.
Yeah.
He would have both storied orgs. Then you got to factor in, when you have 2 orgs and you're an owner book, that gives you 2 chances of winning a title. Other orgs only have 1. And all of us, and when it should begin with. But factor this in, that means there's 2 chances of him in the playoff to win a title.
Imagine if both teams got to the finals.
There's a world where and G2 and Fnatic have made the finals. I think out of every team in Europe, G2 and Fnatic have made the finals the most to face each other. There's literally from 2019 and 2020, G2 and Fnatic won both finals.
Imagine you bet on both teams knowing you're making money no matter what.
It's like, who's gonna win? This team or that team? Doesn't really matter. I own them both. It's like, what?
Whichever team I put more money into wins. I was like, oh, you fucking, oh, you motherfuckers. That's dirty.
Like, I know people don't like Carlos. It's whatever. I don't really give a fuck. But Fnatic fans should be thanking him. It's literally on the internet from credible sources. G2 gave Fnatic money. Whether it was Carlos at the time who was full creative control, most likely it was. He was the only guy who was really working with them.
Yeah,
the guy who was investing into the business. People should be thanking Carlos if Fnatic is still in the league itself. Fnatic will be gone, actually.
Yep.
Well, not really gone. They'd be owned by G2. Which would be that'd be like if Cloud9 owned TSM and then actively put a roster for TSM to compete in the league.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna. That could have happened this year. Imagine who's the wealthiest team in the LCS.
Well, I mean, Cloud9 is sponsored by Microsoft, so
imagine Microsoft, who's Cloud9's sponsor.
I know people say that doesn't really matter, but Microsoft is a sponsor of Cloud9. Just let that sink into your brain.
Imagine Microsoft bought TSM and be like, oh, it'd be Microsoft TSM, and now Microsoft has 2 teams. Or they imagine sponsoring one team while owning the other team. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker, oh, you dirty. You dirty sons of bitches.
Oh,
and the thing is, that actually could happen because as long as you don't outright own one team, you're good. Sponsor is like, all right, cool. You sponsor it, but you don't own them. But damn, fucking shit. There's an actual point that could happen. Microsoft could actually do that.
And in the LPL, it's even a little bit more shadier because we really don't know what goes on in the LPL. Actually, we only know what we get told, and the Chinese government has been very propaganda, guys. The Chinese tell us a version of an event that they want us to know. They tell us what they want us to know. No offense, half the motherfucking teams could be owned by the Triad, and we have no idea. It's like, oh, that's racist. I'm like, they could probably most likely sponsor the Triads. Could even sponsor the LPL.
Shit.
I doubt they are because it's Tencent.
I would be surprised if Jackie Chan owned every team in that was the PCK, the Hong Kong League.
Oh, the PCS. Oh yeah,
PCS.
Yeah.
I would be. Jackie Chan got enough money. He can literally own every team in the PCS, and none of us will know it. Like think about it. Think about this because Hong Kong is technically in China, but it doesn't count as China because the province. It's like Hong Kong and China. It's like Washington D.C. in America. It's on our land, but they have different rules. There is an actual because I've actually looked it up. You can actually own a team in the PCS and LPL.
Yeah, it was revealed,
and they
that
can be
literally
right down the street from each other.
I think they said the lowest earning LCS player made more than almost every player in the PCS.
Yep.
And by almost every, guys, we're talking like 90% of that league.
And
outside of the actual top team. Whatever top team is for them.
And the funny, and that's the crazy people don't realize. A Chinese businessman can own teams in the LPL and PCS because technically Hong Kong is on Chinese land, but
that's why, like, I mean, because to be fair, even if the LPL, even because they're almost caught having like some guys owning more than one org, even if it is true, I mean, what are you gonna really do about it though?
Two LPL teams is illegal, but you can actually own an LPL and a PCS team because they're not in the same.
That's the thing, though. The Chinese aren't going to disclose that information to you. They're not going to tell on each other.
All they got,
they like I've noticed that with Asian communities that they have this like unspoken rule that we don't tell on each other.
Yeah, no, of course.
When it comes to like professional shit.
Think about it. If you know one person that's connected to Triad and you snitch on them,
oh, you're done.
You can be found fucking face down, get eat by dogs in the high part. China's so fucking big. It's so fucking big. You go missing, that's one less. Well, that's one less person. That motherfucker got 3.4 billion fucking people. If one goes missing, are they really gonna? I mean, if he's big profile, but it's like think about it. Think about that. You can literally you can own an LPL team.
Right.
Buy a PCS team and put it under your brother's name. And then your brother could be your twin brother and they can't tell the difference.
That's why they talked about, I think that's an old article, but I think somewhere in another outlet that covered it, they mentioned that too. There's a possibility that the guy could actually own both teams, but his uncle could run it for him. Yeah. He just tell him, here, this is what I want. That's it.
Yeah.
The EDG owner was when Invictus Gaming was the best team in the LPL, the Invictus Gaming owner, they were winning so hard in the LPL, like they were the best team by far. The owner benched Jackie Love and then played himself. They were winning that hard. The owner of IG came on stage and played. He was horrible, obviously.
Yeah, of course, but it's like
no, I'm not kidding, guys. They were winning that hard. They went 17-1 in BO5s and BO3s. Yeah, they went 34. They went 18. What's that? 17, 34
and 2. Oh,
they went 34 and 2.
That's
their only losses were to RNG, the team they lost to in the finals.
Oh shit.
That is disgusting.
Oh,
they went 32. They went 34 and
2 over both splits.
They also, I mean, but they won Worlds that year too. So that
that makes sense.
They won Worlds that year. They should have beaten RNG in that match, but the Shy hurt his hand cooking food, which doesn't make sense because they have chefs. That's I don't know. He probably punched the wall. I guarantee you got mad during scrims.
He either punched the wall or probably owed somebody money and the child broke his hand.
Because someone's like, he hurt his hand making food. They have chefs.
First
you don't need to make food at all.
First of all, you don't break your hand. I've
Have you ever hurt your hand? You just broke your hand making food? No,
never broke my hand. I burnt my hand because the flames came up too high. I dislocated my shoulder trying to pick up something, but I've never. It actually just popped my shoulder.
Yeah, but you're a need for that because you're doing the cooking itself, so you have to do that hard labor. They have chefs. Why would he ever need to make his own food?
Plus, I'm not gonna lie, a cup of ramen ain't that hard to make, and I'm not being racist. When I found out a lot of these fucking like league players, all like their main thing is you take a cup of ramen, you put it in water, and then you boil it, and then you're chopping up like spring onions, scallions, shrimp, or whatever kind of protein. You wait for the noodles to cook. They cook by like 2-3 minutes. Then you saute them, and then you put kind of seasonings you want, and you put the tops. I was like, there's no way in hell you hurt your hand. You don't break your hand. You might dislocate something. You might even cut your finger. But I was like, okay, break your hand. Break your wrist. That's okay. But nah, that's wild. But I don't know. Then again, like I'm still saying Triad because at this point, that's just, I think Triad's more Hong Kong, but that could be China too. But either way, that's Oh shit, this gonna be a long season.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the season to start. Hey, I'm gonna be at the LCS. Hopefully, because James talked about we're gonna go to the LCS whenever we can get a day to go. I can't wait to go, and I haven't been at the LCS since 2019. Actually, yeah. It's been a while for me, even me going. I'm gonna get better pictures this time around because I have a better camera this time around. Definitely. Who's the girl? Every time Pokimane always went on Sunday. We always went on Saturday because the better games were always on Saturday for some reason. Yeah. Pokimane was there, and I could have met her if we went on Sunday. I would have had to do my YouTube channel intro. That's at least 10,000 views right there. Whoo! But it's probably not gonna happen. What if I meet Lily and being like, "Hey, you ever tried black guys out?"
No, because he's dating Michael Reeves. But I'm telling you, no, you do that to Pokey. I'm definitely hit on Ollie Bay or who. Man, I would try to steal Jody away from John.
Like, Sneaky has a pretty cute girlfriend. These guys don't date ugly women.
Because you gotta realize a lot of these guys, a lot of these girls, they just want a guy who just sees the girl as a regular person. And that's the thing too. A lot of these girls are like, I'm just a regular person just like you. No, you're cute. The thing is, you can't tell a girl she's cute because if she's heard it enough times, she doesn't want to hear it anymore. She is like you have to call her cute without calling her cute. Because if you think she's ugly,
like, dude, today Santorin just announced he's engaged. You look at his girlfriend, she's pretty good looking.
I gotta see what Santorin's girlfriend.
Also, these guys are dating girls in LA who are definitely much better than the girls that I get to see every day. So
yeah.
Perks got married. Perks actually got married.
Oh Jesus.
Right here, yeah, Santorin, he's engaged today. That's awesome. He's not a that's a good looking girl.
Santorin's not a bad looking person too. He just needs to get a haircut because he got that long hair. He don't see when he has the short cut like
I
that.
like the longer hair better. His short makes him look like a fuckboy with that shit.
I mean, that's how you usually get a lot of these dirty girls like fuckboys.
Yeah,
they don't like.
Perks is married, guys. Perks, of all people, I've seen this guy since he played in the LEC. He's married now.
Oh, shit.
Perks got married. He got married this past week.
Okay.
That's awesome for him.
Oh, okay. That's what fucking that one guy was spamming.
Carlos. Oh, man. People just love going under these posts. But Carlos, I told people the Carlos situation was going to blow over. Who remembers the Andrew Tate shit at this point? I mean, who remember it?
That's why I was thinking Carlos might go to Fnatic and be their CEO eventually.
Definitely has enough money to. Like, people will be like, Fnatic has too much integrity to take money from Carlos. Sure.
Motherfucker, did he already take money? Like, Carlos is technically the owner of Fnatic. And no, no, motherfucker, you owe me. Oh, Ryan says fuck Ryan. Fuck you too. Oh my god. What that
this girl's kind of cute, but I don't know if she's freaky. I don't know. All right, guys, we're gonna head off here in just a moment. I think she's actually pretty cute.
Who's this?
I seen her pop up on my timeline for a little bit.
Okay, I like girls like her who are dirty, but they're dirty, cute. And
can you show your ass?
And she got an OnlyFans. Okay,
that's a decent looking girl.
Neither usually the girls I get set up with, and the date goes well. But
how she sits on dick? Because that'd be pretty good.
Shit. Go back to that picture. Yo, nigga, send me that picture. Holy shit. see, that's the position right there. That's I'm not pulling out. If you walk and say, "Oh, baby, I'm just stretching," you see that, you instantly get hard. You're like, fuck it. It's gonna be one of those nights where it's like, if a girl gets into that position or that position, you don't pull out in positions like those. You look at her, you kiss her in the mouth, you kiss her on the forehead, you're like, me, you're about to have a baby. There's no way I'm pulling out. It feels like, that's like, no. If a girl has her behind, and they're over, on her shoulders, and you're in there, and she looks at you, she smiles. I'm like,
oh Lord.
And she's like, "Are you about to come?" I'm just looking at her, I was like,
take my facial, bitch.
No, I'm not pulling. I was like, how ready are you to have a baby? About birth control. You're like, oh, thank God. Because you don't pull out at that point. You kiss on the lips. He's like, shit, eat. You're like, fuck. Oh my God, those are the situations where.
Oh God. Well, guys, we'll see you next week to wrap up the year. Thank you guys for all the support this year. More content coming. We'll see you guys next week. Deuces.